every time I try to hang out with them, they always say, I don't know, right? And it could be for a variety of reasons. Who knows? But I just like to put this out here. And I got a lot of feedback and responses from women. You know what I'm saying? And this was fun. This was actually very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And so this is what I said. I got it on my Zoom. This is the main one I'm gonna put out on YouTube. I have it up. And it says, when you constantly ask her out, and she always says, I don't know. What does that mean? Now, this particular the status, it only got one like, but you know, I feel some type of way about it. But it was a question though, so it's like a question is not really meant to get likes, right? But it did get it got like 52 comments, so that's cool. And for me, like for nobody like myself, you know what? I want to do some too. I'm gonna put some YouTube music in the back, not music in the background, but sound effects and shit. It's gonna be like my board. The YouTube is gonna be my soundboard until I get one, until I actually do it. You see, I'm trying to come smooth. I got the lunch. You know what I'm saying? Some chick brought me this like 10 years ago. Got the little chain, got the glasses. You know, I'm just trying to be smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep up with appearances. But here we go. You know what? The next time I do this, I might have a whole bunch of sound bites on my YouTube in the background. I'm gonna just play these shits gradually. Price is Right. Losing Horn. Yeah. So every time some shit is some bullshit, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this in the background. Every time it's some bullshit, that's what I'm gonna play. Yeah. That's how we gonna do it. So I got my little I got my sound effects in the background. So we're gonna read it. My boy Ethan Horn says, when you constantly ask her out, oh shit, this is on autoplay. I gotta be conscious of that. Matter of fact, I just turned the autoplay off, so I won't do that again. When you constantly ask her out, and she always says, I don't know. What does that mean? My boy Ethan Horn says, sounds like a no to me. I say thank you. And then this other comedian, female, her name is Elk TV Reed. She's and hold on. No, Elk TV Reed says she's trying to be nice. And I was like, I said, I'm a big boy. Fuck that. Give it to me straight. It's like getting a shot, man. If I'm gonna get a shot like a needle or something like that, man, I don't want the doctor to gradually poke that in, man. Just jab it, man. Give me the medicine, man. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. A lot of women have this mindset that, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings. So they string you along. But the thing is, if somebody strings you along long enough, you'll hang yourself. Rejection, whether you're rejected within the first 5 minutes or whether you're rejected after 5 years, it both hurts. It hurts all the same. It hurts all the same. It's just that it doesn't hurt. They both hurt. It's not all the same. They both hurt, but it hurts more. But it hurts more if they just take a long time and you waste a lot of time, man. Hold up. Let me text this motherfucker real quick. They're saying some bullshit. man. All right, so let's get to it. Yeah, I'm being distracted. I'm being distracted right now. I'm sorry. All right. I'm a big boy. Fuck that. Give it to me straight. This is what I say. Then Elk. I hope I'm saying your name right, Elk. We about to get into the more entertainment version. Ms. Elk Reed says, what does she say? Let's and I got this all on share on my Zoom, so y'all all gonna see this. I just want to get through these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna bring it. My boy Teddy. My boy Teddy wants to come on, but I want to get through these comments and shit first because I'm already distracted by this inbox conversation, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm already distracted by this shit. All right. It says I'm a big boy, fuck that. Then this is what I said. I said, what if y'all hang out frequently, but it's always I don't know before y'all hang? Then when you, as in me, I choose to hang with somebody else, they are bothered that I didn't hold them to the maybe. Talking about all the good things that would have happened if I would have just waited for her decision. What the fuck? And then Ms. Elk Reed says, either she's playing hard to get and really doesn't want to hang, or she just wants to be friends. All right. We can chat. Just know I'm streaming as well. All right. Oh, fuck, man. Fuck Mo's. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Like, yeah, man. My friend is in need and they hit me up and shit, and I don't want to just blow her off. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna read again. I forgot what I was at. So Elkie says, either she's playing hard to get or really doesn't want to hang, or she just wants to be friends. Then I say we are too old for that hard to get shit. And I'm cool with being friends, right? I said, I'm tired of being treated like an insurance policy. Insurance is something that you get, you hope you don't have to use. Fuck that. That's what I say, right? And then my boy Jeff DeCall, that's the homie right there. He says, Jeff says, call her bluff and move on to someone who values you enough to not treat you like an 8th grade. I love that comment, and I did that. But then when I do that, and I have a date with somebody else, it's like, oh man, I would have been so freaky. I would have did all this nasty stuff to you, but you went with somebody else. Like on some childish shit. Like if you would have did this, I would have gave you my toys. Like fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Don't act all standoffish and shit. And then when I move on to something else, the next day you talk about all the things we probably could have did. That's some bullshit. Because what it does is, because I really like the individual in the future, if I have potential plans or I'm trying to make plans with her, and she wants some maybe type shit, I'm gonna wait and hesitate, thinking that something good might happen. That's when it becomes like a means of like it's a form of passive aggressive control. You know, don't use me like no insurance policy, man. That's that bullshit, y'all. All right. So we're gonna go down on the comments a little more. My boy Anthony Vega, who's engaged. Anthony says he says it means she's got a man, but the moment he slip up, She hitting you with the hey big head. So I already know, even though my boy Anthony Baker's engaged, he's definitely a Kevin Samuels fan because that's some Kevin Samuels shit right there. And I put hashtag Kevin Samuels. Now my boy Juvan Venters, that's my OG right there. A lot of times he draws like wrong conclusions, but he was on point. He was on point with this one. Now this is what Juvan Venters says. My boy Juvan, he said it means you got a shot. I'm gonna talk like a more black man voice. It means you got a shot. Well, see, we'll see is a brush off, or soon is a brush off. I don't know. It's trepidation. I don't even know what the fuck word what do trepidation mean? Let me look up the word trepidation. Damn, my boy Juvan too smart for me, man. I don't know what that word means. Trepidation means a feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen. Okay. There's a nigga in the mix, but he fucking up, and she ain't sure if he gonna get his shit together. Just bide your time and feign disinterest for a minute. And my boy Juvan is right. But see, I don't, you know what I'm saying? If a chick isn't married, she gonna have options. So that doesn't bother me. My thing is when it's my time, give me my time. You know what I'm saying? Don't be on some maybe shit. Just say no. Say I would rather be pleasantly surprised than worrying if you're gonna do it or not. I'd rather you say no and then right when I'm about to step up, you hit me up on some last second shit and be like, oh yeah, I want to go out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think I'm gonna bring my boy Teddy on Facebook Live, not Zoom. But anyway, and then I said, fuck all that. I want to start when he says that because he was talking about other guys and shit like that. Hold on. Damn, let me go up. I fucked up. He says, actually, let me read his comment again. I apologize. It means you got a shot. We'll see is a brush off, or soon is a brush off. I don't know, it's trepidation. There's a nigga in the mix, but he fucking up, and she ain't sure if he's gone. He gonna get his shit together. Just bide your time and feign disinterest for a minute. And I said, fuck all that. I want to start. I'm tired of coming off the bench in garbage time. That's a basketball analogy, y'all. I'm the master of analogies. Me, Jeff Brown, and Tommy Sotomayor, we are masters, and fucking Mark Norman, we're all masters of analogy. And then Vintner says, think about it. Think about it, though. And that analogy clearly went over his head, but he was like, think about it, though. Do you really think there is any desirable woman out there that no dudes currently have interest in? It's not a realistic goal. Nowhere do I say or imply that I'm trying to be the only guy in this status. Nowhere do I say this, but this is a conclusion that he's drawn. But now his next comment, he's like, you got to look at a woman with no suitors like a barber with no clients. You're going to walk in a busy barbershop and get a cut from the barber with no line. And that's funny. That's funny. And I says, but see, this is how I counter, because he missed my basketball analogy in the first place, right? So I had to reiterate and make the analogy more clear. I said, there are 5 players on a basketball court for one team. And I accept that. I just want to be in the starting lineup. Do you get what I'm saying? And now he's like, Juvan is like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, also, you always had the ladies around you 24/7. So my guess is you keep getting friend zoned. Have you tried being less nice? Serious though. And then I was like, and I don't always get friends. Now that's just some weird conclusion that he drew. I don't know where he came up with that. I'm just I don't hide it if I'm going through rejection or I'm going through struggles with women. Me talking about it is a form of it's a form of therapy for myself. And I said, real talk. And I was like, I don't get friend zoned. I just cut ties when it gets like that. And then Juvan was like, you could always sell coke. That establishes what zone you are in. And I was like, and that's a funny comment, but the thing is, like, I got such bad luck. If I started trying to dabble into like the nefarious world of drugs and like feeding chicks mind altering substances to gain their favor, I'll be the nigga that have some coke, that I have rat poison in it and some shit like that, and like the bitch damn near die, then I gotta stab her in her chest like motherfucking Pulp Fiction. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I'm not dabbling in that world. A woman should just look at me And if she don't feel inclined to fuck with me, then that's not the one. It's simple. I don't have to convince you or try to trick you or try to prove myself. I don't got to do that. Women make decisions on men before men even say anything. That's why some bitches that be with fat, dusty, thug, toothless, half bum ass halfway house niggas for years and years and years. Niggas with no abs, no motherfucking investments, no nothing. And these chicks still rock with them. So it's not about how you look. It's not even about what you have. I'm really starting to realize it's just a vibe and it's an energy that you put out that they fuck with. They are literally just guided by emotion, man. 99% of them, the decisions they make are emotional. I got this one bit. I said a bitch could be faithful to a nigga in prison for 20 years, but you go on a first date with her, you know what I'm saying, with a new guy, and she wanted to give you a second date because you vote Republican. But she'll deal with a murderer, halfway house nigga for 20 years because that's just how I feel. I can't control how you feel. And it's okay to do things because, you know, you feel a certain way. But in life, there's duality. There's a positive charge. There's a negative charge. There's logic and there's emotion. When you make decisions, you need I think a healthy blend of logic and emotion. You may emotionally want to fuck with this married guy. You know what I'm saying? Creep around with this married guy that's married to one of your best friends or some shit. Emotionally, you want to do that. Emotionally, it tells you the right thing to do. But the logic kicks in like, yo, that's your best friend. No, stop lying to yourself. You're going to get in trouble. Like you're going to go through all kinds of negativity if you choose to go along with this bullshit. So you need hope. Now, by over logic is on some Adolf Hitler shit. Like, you know what? These people, ever since they was around here, they were there, the days of our existence. We have to kill everybody. I don't give a fuck. That's over logical. So you need a balance between both. I don't know if that was a good analogy. Yeah, but y'all get what y'all trying to say. Sometimes we can make cold, calculated decisions without having any type of leeway. That's the opposite of the extreme of being too emotional. You're being too Borg-like. All right. So we're gonna go down. So he suggested I sell coke, but obviously that was tongue in cheek. And I was like, nah, I just have to become undeniable in my craft, which will give me the opportunity to get constantly shitted on by a higher grade of women. Because it's crazy, like we're always sold this dream. Oh, if you get abs, if you get in shape, if you get all this money, you're gonna get high value women and things gonna be so much better. Things gonna be so much better once you get rich and get in shape and you're such a success. I know some of the most beautiful chicks out here in the Hartford area that got some of the most suspect baby fathers, or it just doesn't match up. Like, this bitch is so fine. How is he your baby daddy? I see this shit all the time. So it don't matter about your success. It just matters about of how it matters. I'm starting to realize it matters your vibe. It matters how you make them tick, man. Got nothing like Kanye West. Struggle with bitches, billionaire, richest black man ever in America. Bill Gates, divorce. Jeff Bezos, divorce. Will Smith wife, way out of pocket. Steph Curry wife, out of pocket. Who else? Monique. No, stop. Monique, she got, she definitely run the relationship in her situation. Comedian Monique. There's so many examples of rich ass dudes. Tyrese struggling with bitches. Who else? I could name so many. And then like a Kim Kardashian, sexy fine ass Kim Kardashian could leave like a Kanye and then deal with like a crackhead looking fucking Pete Davidson that looks like AIDS. And I don't usually come at comedians like that, but fuck it, I'm just saying what it is. And it's funny because Kanye West started spreading rumors, allegedly, from what I heard, that Pete Davidson does have AIDS. Who else struggle with bitches? Future, Offset, but even though things have gotten better with him and Cardi. So it's like, yo, yeah, having the money will give you the ability to fly to other countries and be in different circles to have women that's in more shape. But all these Instagram bitches with all these BBLs, these butt lifts and stuff like that, man, they trying to steal sperm. Like, look at Drake. The chick trying to steal Drake's sperm, but luckily he put some hot sauce in the condom. But that whole story sound like cap. That sounds like bullshit. Like, who the hell trying to protect their sperm? So they go to the bathroom when they done, and then just put it in the garbage can like she ain't gonna double back and go, and then just put hot sauce in it where you could just flush it down the toilet. But I think that's all cap. But all these rich motherfuckers, like being rich is not a guarantee that things gonna get better, man. I know chicks that get taken care of, they get everything paid for, all their bills, every single thing paid. They don't gotta work, they don't gotta do shit, and they still ain't satisfied. So it's a vibe. It's not about the money, it's not about the looks, it's not about the abs. So we trying to figure out how to create this vibe or this scenario. And I know the answer to it. A lot of it is just lying. A lot of it, you lie to the women, you paint this false picture, like women revel in fantasy, and you paint this like false ass, this false ass picture, this false ass existence, and you make her feel good. And as long as you make her feel good, regardless of how fake and phony it is, she gonna rock with that. Because the nigga that's in prison that makes her feel good, she still contacting Holmes 20 years from now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like in Casino. It's a prime example. I think Sharon Stone's character. She never loved Robert De Niro, but she went along with him because he took care of everything, paid for everything. She had his kids, all this shit. She never had to work, never had to want for nothing. She still was in love with her ex-boyfriend, who was a low-level pimp, hustler, swindler, and shit. And she would be calling home on the low and stuff like that. And he's like, and then Robert De Niro didn't kill him, but had him beat up and stuff. And she was like, you don't know what he's going through. Like, some women use the most logicless emotion as a justification to do the most ridiculous and be with the most ridiculous people. You know what I'm saying? They'll put up with all kinds of shit from these low life motherfuckers. But when somebody is nice and trying to give it to them like the real and just being honest and being sincere with them, they want to fucking bite their head off and cut their head off and be all angry and show all their strength. Like, where's your strength and your anger towards the motherfucker that's actually treating you like shit? It's bullshit. But anyway. Okay, so the next comment, my homegirl Princess, my boy Keys' fiance, she said that's a no. I agree. My boy Devin B. Morgan, former Army veteran, he was like, move on. And I'm like, yeah, but I love this. I love this chick. So, you know what I'm saying? I do love her. So it's an easier said than done thing. And then she does receive me sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? And there's issues there. There's issues there that have to be worked out. But I'm no longer staying quiet if I feel uncomfortable, if I feel slighted. You know what I'm saying? Like, the woman is not the only person that's allowed to feel pain or to feel hurt or to feel sad. You know what I'm saying? Or to feel emotional or to be sensitive. We could be sensitive too. Like, what did Mike McRae say with Boyz II Men on the song End of the Road? He said, I have pain. You know what I'm saying? I feel pain too. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember the fucking lyrics. I'm a man. I feel pain too. This time instead, just go to my bed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So, but yeah, hold on. I wanna do something. I want to make this screen. I like to see myself. Fuck. Whatever. Whatever. I ain't worried about that. All right. So my boy Nicholas Malucci, he says, if she's telling you that, it means she's waiting to see if I'm going to take her out. And that was funny. My boy Jeff DeCaro, he's like, no. My boy Pedro Rodriguez, he's like, trying to keep you in the friend zone. My girl Barbara Yater, she says, sounds like a no. My boy Eric, this cat always met boy Eric Clark. He always makes bad jokes. He's like, she's a freak. She needs thumb in the bum. Like, what the fuck that got to do with anything? My boy Philip Anthony, and he's funny, man. That's one of my OGs in this comedy shit. Philip says it means the last word that came out of her mouth. And he spells K-N-O-W. Now, the people that's on Zoom, you can see it like right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna point the arrow K, capital N-O, lowercase W. So there's some wordplay shit. My boy Timothy Lovett says, one of my other comedy bros, that means she is waiting for her first and second options who told her, I don't know, to give her an answer. And right, I'm saying bingo, because what's important about that, let me read that again. He says, that means she is waiting for her first and second options who told her, I don't know, to give her an answer. Hurt people hurt people. It's basically like the whole bully concept. When you see like little kids, like, you know what I'm saying, between the ages of like 5 to 10 or 15 or whatever, bullying people smaller than them, a lot of times it's because somebody is bullying them at home and they have no way to execute revenge or show power. They feel weak in a situation. So when they get around people who are weaker than them, they execute the same behaviors that are done to them. Now, I say that because in this analogy, she's probably getting the I don't know treatment from the guy that she really, really wants, right? And that makes her feel fucked up. So she transfers, she doesn't have power. She doesn't feel power in that situation. So she's doing the same thing to me, possibly. That has been, the same. She's doing the same to me, the same thing to me that's being done to her. It's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Then my boy Phil, he says another funny comment. He says, it means it all depends on how hungry she gets. Yeah, that's real too. I'm not hungry right now, so I want to hang with you, whatever. You know, and she's sexy. I'm very attracted to her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always try to fuck her. Like, and we fucked. We've had sex. But she's just not into me like that. You know what I mean? But whatever. Now, my boy Ted, and I'm going to bring Ted on in a minute. I just want to read these comments. My boy Teddy really bring it down. He said, means she's interested too deep somewhere else and got a hard time talking to you while waiting for the person she wanted to choose right. And I'm like, bro, Teddy, you are closer to the truth than you know. Teddy is very close to the truth. Women always got options. I appreciate that. I get that. But if I'm in your competition and I'm trying to get at you, trying to be with you and stuff, okay, if you're going through some shit, you want to talk about it, cool. But ultimately, all these other niggas is my competition. You do your thing, but I'm not about to talk to you and give you advice on how to make things better with my competition. No, I'm not doing that shit. That doesn't serve my interests. Now, if you're feeling suicidal and all that shit, I'm going to give you some positive words of encouragement. But my advice is, if a person is always giving you a bad time like that, and this individual the person I'm talking about doesn't always give me a bad time. The person has good qualities about her. But it's just like when it's bad, it's fucking bad. You know what I'm saying? And the person's not married, nothing like that. So what have you? But if it's a dysfunctional, like you're trying to mess with a married person, the person is, you know what I'm saying, married to people that you know, and I'm not saying this is a situation. I'm just saying the person you're dealing with has all these red X's, right? And you know this, and I suggest, just leave that shit alone, man. Your feelings is temporary. You get over that shit. And you still keep going back, and I don't hear from you like weeks at a time and shit, and then you're going to come and cry to me when this motherfucker shit on you. Now you want to fucking use me as the insurance policy, man? Fuck that. I don't want to hear about that bullshit, man. Because the answer is simple. Stop fucking with that motherfucker. If it's like that, you got a perfectly single motherfucker. Like, I'm not saying you got to exclusively only be with me, but you got a perfectly single, low drama motherfucker that always take you out and is always willing to have fun. You know what I'm saying? But you want to deal with this other situation because somehow it gives you this like psychological vibe to make you feel good, or gives you some type of like strange, weird ass hope that this is going to be like this is going to be like the source of your happiness, dealing with this motherfucker who's totally taking you for granted. You know what I'm saying? Totally taking you for granted. So I was like, Teddy, you're closer to the truth than you know. And then he put, Teddy talks love, always right with the check-in. My boy Ted, cool. I said, I got to get you on a momentary podcast. I'm around, big guy. You let me know. And I said, I'm down 40 pounds. What you gonna call me when my frame is, I said phrase, but I meant to say frame. When my frame is svelte, twin, because I'm down. He said twin because I'm down 42. That's got dope. I said, let's keep the grind. Let's keep the something going. I fucking misspelled it. My goal is 190. Whatever. So like whatever. Me and Teddy going back and forth, blah blah blah, babbling. All right. And so I open this up. My boy Bobby Drake says, do her friends till she's ready. And I was like, if only with that, I don't know none of her friends. And I don't play that game with fucking people's friends. It's like, nah, man, I don't do that shit. And then my homegirl, my female OG, Kim DeShill, says she means she doesn't know. She's on the fence for whatever reason. That's like Captain Obvious. And then my boy Floyd Whitehead said, I don't. And he put in parentheses, N-O. No, yeah. And I said, my boy Paul Wilson said, I said the same thing. And I'm like, exactly. And then my boy Jamon Darnell says, she's saying, I don't know. And then my boy Floyd, my boy Taryn, he was like, she's already fucking. And I was like, I don't mind that. I just want my turn. Shit. So that's pretty much it, man. Like, you know, people like saying this no shit and I don't know and maybe stuff, man. Oh, excuse me. Just don't let people run you. Like, you know, my thing is like, I'm gonna get this link because I want to share it with the homie. My thing is shit. Let me stop this. I'm gonna stop this share right now. Okay, I stopped the share. My thing is, man, like if you feel uncomfortable or you feel like you're being slighted, I'm gonna copy the invitation. If you feel uncomfortable and you feel like you're being slighted, just call it out. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be mad. Just you gotta let people know that you know what it is that they're doing and you know what's going on. I'm gonna bring my boy Teddy in for a second, and we're gonna. I said, I always mess up when I do this, and we're gonna talk about this some more. Hold on, let me see my boy Teddy if he want to hop in. Yo, Teddy, I'm about to bring you in now, man. My dating woes. All right, so we're gonna send this to the homie Teddy. Bam. We're gonna talk about it because he was on point, man. He was on point. He was definitely on point, man. So I got my boy Teddy in. And my bad, guys. My bad. I had to go off for a second. So I just put it up there for my boy Teddy to be on. And honestly, once I'm done with Teddy, I got another one. I had a date. I made a plans with a person like a week in advance one time. And this person that I used to be intimate with like years ago. And I haven't seen this person like, I always see him online, but I haven't seen him in like 15 years. And I made plans, you know, I wanted to like go bowling and, you know, get something to eat, karaoke, you know what I'm saying? Like, just whatever. And I made the plans like 4 or 5 days in advance. And when it was time to do the thing, like once it came to the date, like the day of, she was like, "Oh, I can only I got to be done by like 10 o'clock or some shit like that." And my thing with that is, well, we got the homie Teddy Wren on, up and coming comedian, man. You know, Hartford.
Man, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. The only I'm streaming on YouTube and I'm streaming on my Facebook, but the only thing that like nobody on Facebook is gonna be able to hear you and nobody on YouTube.
So no, that's all good. I'm just making some ramen real quick. So you know.
Yeah.
I'll start it all right when I'm done with it.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, no doubt. Are you gonna stream too on Facebook?
I'm not sure how to do that.
Oh no, don't even worry about it. No, I misheard what you said. I misheard what you said. But I was talking about the I don't know. I pretty much covered the whole I don't know thing, and it was crazy because the comment that you made was very, very, very on point. What did you say? Let me go back to see what you said. Let me slide back down here. It's kind of hard to navigate and produce a show when you got all this. I got like 4 screens open right now, like a boot. I'm like a bootleg Fresh and Fit right now, man. If you ever watch those guys.
Yeah, I've watched a thing or two about it, but I ain't gonna lie, man. The most recent controversy with them.
With the black women.
You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you something.
What's up?
Right? What's up? So I used to do, relationship, love, advice, things like that on YouTube, and I totally am behind what they actually intend to be trying to do on their show. What I don't like is how they sell it. They sell it as if women are literally just worthless. I get it. They're using things like pickup artist techniques. I'm well versed in all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they take all the they take all the potential compassion out of it. And I'm not to say that, yeah, sometimes you got to do that, especially if you're just trying to do something, you know, get a little slick, whatever you're trying to do with a woman.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you got such like a jaded perspective, like the dude who's like the Middle Eastern dude, man, somebody hurt that dude. Like he coming from such a jaded. Meanwhile, the other dude, this is what I assessed. What's the name? Fresh, the darker one.
Yeah.
Him, he don't say much, but I feel like he agrees with the stuff, but I don't feel like he got like hurt before he got to learn or agree with the stuff.
Oh, the issue I have with when people say you've been hurt, who the fuck hasn't been hurt? Who hasn't? If you over a certain age, you know what I'm saying. You've been through some type of calamity. Now, how you deal with the hurt, that's what determines, you know what I'm saying, you as an individual. But we've all been hurt. That comes with the territory. But I see what you're saying though. He definitely seems, you know what I'm saying. He definitely seems jaded and disturbed or whatever. But you know what I mean. A lot of it too, because it's YouTube. You got to remember it is entertainment. So a lot of it is sensationalism too. A lot of it is, you know, they're trying to play this heel role or they're trying to play this villain role. And the wild shit is the way these women operate, because women operate on a vibe. Some women are so twisted that if you act more negative and more combative and want to argue with them, that makes them want to talk to you more for some strange reason. Look at all the women that keep coming on this panel. They be having like 10 chicks, bad chicks too.
But notice,
all the time. Go ahead. Notice
that they only, like for instance, I just watched the interview that they did with Brittany Renner and PJ Academics. Notice they only ever bring on women who, I don't want to say ain't the brightest, but they definitely don't have enough of an argument or enough dog in the fight. They probably never even thought deep enough into what's happening, what they doing in order for it to, I'm gonna go on camera real quick.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah, they probably ain't thought enough into what they trying to do or like why they do what they do. Like men, we think forward, you know, like we all have one night stand. A man knew I wanted that one night stand. A woman may have the one night stand, and while she's taking a walk of shame, she's trying to legitimize why she did it or how it got there.
Or they play naive and they pretend like they didn't know it was gonna happen. Like, oh, like it's like weird. Like with women, you gotta like pretend like you don't want to have sex, but then just get the pussy by accident. Oh, like I'm just like, you know, you got kids in the room. Sorry, I'm sorry, but I just got the buzz.
They in the other room. That's why I was like, I ain't
like, you know, we going on a date
like
and then
trying to remember the mute and stuff.
Yeah, it's like Chris Rock, who's like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, when a man gets some buzz, like, no, this is my lucky day. You know what I'm saying? It just happens. Like we got to pretend like we don't want it to get it by accident. But see, that's also dangerous during these Me Too times.
Man,
because now they trying
to. Man would never think it's his lucky day.
Unless right,
as much as he typically got to put.
That's fact, but that's the humor. That's the humor of what Chris Rock said. It's my lucky day. he
absolutely. Chris Rock Rock always has really, really great perspectives on it. One thing, like you said with the Me Too, like I got a lot of Me Too jokes. And that's just because I'm really behind it. Like doing R&B, I actually write songs and stuff that have to do with consent. Like I got a song that's called Consent, and it's about the fact that what I'm about to do to you ain't so vanilla. So I'm gonna need your consent before we start this off.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
And so, you know, it's definitely possible in this day and age. A lot of women just have. I'm always about not taking away your choice. With Fresh and Fit, the reason why I say I feel like Fresh learned maybe like pickup artistry and stuff before he ever got like a true heartbreak. Like maybe he was like, of course he liked women and was trying to do whatever, but he didn't have like that heartbreak that really, you know, the first heartbreak for a man defined that nigga. Like that set you off on a whole nother path in life.
Yeah.
So they remind me of me and one of my boys who also knows like a lot of the different stuff that, you know, like the pickup artistry and all that other stuff.
Right.
And the difference between me and my boy was that when he found all the different things that helped him in his dating life, he hadn't had that hardcore heartbreak yet.
Right.
The way that he moved and approached all this stuff, believing it all, was vastly different compared to me when I found it, you know, a year or two after I'm fucking devastated and reconstructing myself into a whole android because a bitch that tore me to pieces and shit. So that's why it reminds me of that, because the way they both talk about it, if I was to talk about it, I would have that same like passion and battery in my back. The other dude does. Whereas my boy, he's gonna have more of a fun, flighty side of like, I agree, but like Fresh does, because he never got that full effect.
It works for the dynamic of the show. You can't have two Howard Sterns. You gotta have a Howard Stern. You gotta have a Robin. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You gotta have. I think it just makes for a better show. I get it, but Sada, I don't want to just talk about F&F, Fresh and Fit. I don't know why. I can't get behind like them dudes ain't Max. There's no way. I've never heard of a Mac talk like this. So when you're going out with a girl and you're trying to do some things, you have to realize you have to step your game up and you have to make sure you're in shape. You have abs, and you're doing all kinds of things. And I'm gonna talk to you. What bitch? Excuse my language. But what bitch you going to a bar and you trying to get us and say, hey, how you doing? You want some drinks? We can hang out and you can chill in my Ferrari.
I don't feel like he talk like that when he talk to them.
Yes, and he black though. On top of that, or darker skin. Come on, man. He talk like that all the time. Trust me.
Really?
They both talk like Valley girl. Why you gonna talk Valley around your homeboys, but then smooth around chicks?
The Indian dude.
Yeah, they're not. First of all, they're not FBA. They're not foundational Black Americans. First of all, they're not. They don't represent our Black experience. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you right now, I'm the most original foundational Black America. Period. Because on my birth certificate, it says that I'm 100% Negro. And you might think that's a joke. It's not.
That's funny though. 100% Negro. You said USDA, 100%
I'm a
Negro.
real nigga, dog. That's just facts.
So, nice. I just don't like these pickup. It was another pickup artist. His name was Supreme Alpha Supreme. I forget, years ago. He was this fat, dark, brown skinned dude. Yeah. And he's kind of. I don't know if you know Jason Black. A lot of people thought he was Jason Black because the way he articulates and the way he sounds. But I'm looking at this roly-poly, brown skinned Roland Martin looking dude, and I'm like, yo, you not a Mac. I don't believe you. Logically, what you're saying makes sense, but I'm looking at you and it doesn't add up. It's just like
sometimes it ain't about the way that you talk. A lot of stuff that we do, remember, even when you're talking, even when you meet somebody, most of your communication, 90% of your communication, all body language.
Yeah, that's true.
So he could be sitting there yeah, this, that, and whatever. But honestly, I don't feel like they talk a lot when they talking to women at all. I feel like they set the woman up to talk so she can go ahead and get her jobless, because let's be real, nobody likes to do anything more than talk about themselves. So all you do is set somebody up to talk about themselves the whole time, and you're going to leave with that conversation with them liking you. So as long as you put enough Easter eggs within that conversation or that interaction for a woman, you might be able to lay down real simple without having to have any real depth to yourself.
No, this is real, but I'm just saying their presentation. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the presentation that I forget what his name, Alpha Supreme. He was just always just bummy. And it's show and prove. You don't gotta show your main chick, but if you got bad chicks like that, let me see something. Don't talk about you so rich and you got mansions and you got Ferraris. I'm using this as an analogy, but I never see a Ferrari. I never see a mansion. I see you in a room talking about all the stuff you have. You know what I mean? No.
Absolutely.
That's Fresh and Fit. They got a nice studio. Bad chicks still be coming through. And you actually touched on something. You was talking about all the dim-witted women that come on the show. That's a reason, because any woman with any type of self-decency or esteem or intelligence, they're not going to entertain no shit like that. They're not going to go on a Kevin Samuels show. They're not going to go on a Fresh and Fit show. They're not going to do that. Yeah.
Every time they get a girl that's smart enough, potentially smart enough or whatever, that has enough to be able to enter at that argument, notice she's always surrounded by anywhere from 4 to 6 other chicks who don't got her bandwidth. So it's way easy for the reason, the logic, the actual presentation of her being an intelligent woman to get washed off, because all he got to do is stop talking to you and talk to the next one who can't handle it.
And they're going to pile on her. They're going to pile up on her.
Yep. Then what you going to do? It's not your show. You can't sit there and be like, oh, well, let me. What you mean? You can go ahead and leave the studio anytime you want. So they even if they can't neutralize her in conversation, they can absolutely paralyze her in conversation. And one thing that I noticed about the interview that they did with Brittany Renner, and this is what I didn't like. because they should have called a body on that interview. If it wasn't for academics actually having reason, like a reasonable point of view in the middle of that interview where he kind of cut through a lot of what could have been the drama, I don't believe that interview would have turned out where somehow the other dude from Fresh and Fit was just like chilling and like, yeah, I be telling people all the time. Nah, he should have called a body in that whole interview because he sucks at arguing. He sucks at having a conversation.
Which one, Myron?
Oh, yeah, Myron. He's terrible. I mean, the first thing he does, he's constantly using words that's triggering. He's constantly basically invalidating your perspective or your opinion. He may try to sit there, invalidate it, and then invalidate it right after. And then academics came and he made it a pivot. And then it became like a counseling session on how Brittany could have handled herself better.
I gotta watch that now.
Didn't have to say shit.
I gotta watch that now. I didn't watch that.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm not a youth. Only time, yeah. I watch it when like a couple of cats, like when Tommy Sotomayor was on it, I watched it. Great interview. Tommy, like people hate on Tommy, controversial, whatever. No denying the dude got talent. He got spit game. There's no denying that. As far as logic and communication and being entertaining, he got it. When Kevin Samuels was on it, phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But academics kind of
say, man, if you ain't got nobody hating on you, you either ain't being yourself enough or you ain't doing something right.
Yeah, facts, definitely. But yeah, I was saying, I want to share the screen. I was just saying you were right. Hold on, multiple one participant can share the time. Actually, I do it multiple. All right, I would do it multiple. We're gonna go back to the Facebook. We're gonna share that. I'm
loving the thinking out loud, bro.
yeah. I always do this. I always do this.
Yo, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. All right, I'm about to scroll up or whatever. Because if I'm not saying nothing, I'm just moving around like and just having dead air. Like it sounds whack. It doesn't make for a good show. Let me see if I can stack us up. Okay, I stacked this on top of each other. I stacked this on top of each other with the camera. Pause. And it says it means she's interested too deep somewhere else. And I'm not going to get too deep in this. This person, you know what I'm saying, is this person follows my social media. You know, I just leave it at that. So there's a chance this individual could see it.
Don't worry, I'm gonna say everything real, and you can blame it on Ted.
He said, it means she's interested too deep somewhere else and got a hard time talking to you while waiting for the right person. And I was like, yo, you're much closer than you realize. And this individual, if you ain't married, I understand if a woman's not married, she has other options. And I'm cool with that. But if it's a shitty option, that's my competition. And then you always coming to me complaining about it. And I'm like, yo, just stop dealing with it. Rock with me or rock with somebody else better. God damn, stop. Like the Bible says, like a dog going back to his vomit. Stop going back to your damn vomit, yo. Even if you feel that way, like, and the thing is, a lot of times women use an extreme and emotional feeling as a justification for their actions. But you can have an extreme emotional feeling to be the president's mistress. That don't mean you have to fucking act on that shit. So like, I don't like you using like extreme emotion.
Like this, man. I done had women try to tell me just how much feelings don't have to be illogical. That don't have to be logical. That doesn't mean you invalidate it. And though that is true, if you're gonna sit there and try to tell me my feelings don't make a difference, or show me rather that my feelings don't make a difference, meanwhile I somehow have to respect yours,
yeah.
Then you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. I posted a meme last night that said men cheat on accident, women cheat as revenge.
Yeah.
And one of my lesbian friends hit me up this morning, and she was like, on accident, laugh out loud, this and that, yada yada. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, I don't. I'm like, listen, a man could literally sit there and be in a situation where, yeah, maybe she's attractive or whatever, but maybe he's not even thinking about it. Yeah. And his stupidity kick in, or he get horny, or he see the opportunity and he just do either some dumb man shit,
impulse.
He was under the influence or something. A woman, whether she under the influence or not, already had it in her mind that was a possibility. Yeah. Men don't necessarily have to have that as a thing. And not only that, but half the time when a woman doing it, unless she, whatever, half the time if she does like have a boyfriend, so therefore she's cheating, it's the premeditation is that it was already in her mind.
Yeah. That's some real talk. And it's like,
my son think he
right
now. And he
that's all good. It actually brings levity to the podcast. It's kind of fun. And it makes you look like a good father too. You know what I'm saying? It's making you look good right now.
Man, hey man, listen, I'll be out here for real, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what's crazy though is, man, you know, because I be in the BDSM. I didn't know I didn't have to have kids to be a daddy. So I messed up. I'm paying too much for something I could have been did.
When it comes to whips and all that, I'm just a dime. I just like to take charge and be aggressive. But when I see the ropes and all that, it's just too much. It's too much apparatus, man. It's just too much.
Man, all right. The thing is, with ropes, I specialize specifically because I totally agree with you. Baby, hold on. Number one hit got to come later, man. Okay? It got to come later.
That's funny as hell.
In the living room.
We got to talk behind the scenes on that. Because I've been in the lifestyle heavy for like since 2006, my brother.
I specialize in what I like to say non-material restraint. So basically, rather than doing stuff with ropes and all that other stuff, I might bring a handcuff here, you know, depending on if that's just what is requested. But really what I do is I do mostly verbal restraint, because the thing is, I'd rather you restrain yourself. I'd rather you control yourself. And therefore, I do different things like, you know, take their hands while I'm doing certain things, put them above their head, tell them not to move them. And then they get punished if they move them. So it's more restraint because they got to focus on that, but then they also got to focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's dope, man. It's, one thing I keep them, this is kind of separate related, but fuck, we gonna go there. I keep coming across chicks that are brats. I hate that shit, yo.
Whoa.
And I hate it. I don't like it. What? I like subs. I don't like people being naughty, and I gotta, because
now, who told you that a brat isn't a sub though?
Oh no, it is. It's a form. I know it's a form. I like total submissive, like listen to me when I tell you what to do. I don't like I don't like getting pushback. I don't like that shit at all. Because the thing is, this is my thing. Like, Me Too and all that. It's like, I never know, okay, I'm gonna try to restrain you, grab you up or whatever, and be aggressive with you. But it's like, I don't know if you're really enjoying it, or like, I don't like that. The whole reason for this broadcast is I don't enjoy the I don't know. There's an I don't know. There's an I don't know.
Like vetting process with that.
Say what?
You don't got a vetting process with that. Like, for instance, I got ways to find out that I got consent. Like, I was messing with somebody around Christmas, and hold on, is my camera? Oh no, okay. I was messing with somebody around Christmas, and we was drinking and stuff like that. It's the first time that we done met or whatever like that. I'm at her house, so I'm like, okay, most of the cues are here for if something was gonna happen. This should be precognitive. If something happened, like, because like this is the first time I'm meeting you, even if we've been on Facebook friends for like years and years and years. We only started talking a week ago, but I don't know, still kind of hairy, but I'm at your spot. You wouldn't have me at your spot just to have me at your spot.
Yeah.
And she was gonna come to my spot, but that just wasn't gonna work out. So whatever, she still got me over at her spot. So we drinking, we playing the game, so forth. Now we get to the point in the game where the game start asking certain select questions. If we trapped on a desert island, will we become lovers? Different things like that. So now, based off of the answers that the game been wingman like motherfucker. Like, listen, every time I play this game so far, I'm 3 for 3 with this game. So the game started asking questions like that, and so based off of the way she was answering the questions, but she was like, yeah, probably, but this and that. I'm like, okay, so we getting closer to me at least having what I would call perceived consent, which is a deep enough perception of, yeah, she down for this, for whatever. The game ended up asking one question that basically made her say, it was like, have you ever masturbated to me or something like that, which I'm expecting a no. Yeah. And she was just like, you mean today? And I was like, oh, this has happened multiple times. Okay. Right. At that point, it's like, I can use all my higher brain to be like, yeah, this is a go. But if I really want to be safe, and it got to the point where I asked a question, and I can't fully remember what the question is. And she was basically like, well, I mean, you're here. So at the end of the day, like, we're adults. We all have needs, this and that. And I mean, I guess I wouldn't have you here if I wasn't down for this and that, yada, yada. Some dudes are trying to like over consent themselves, where they basically talk themselves out the coochie by being like, bitch, I'm going to say a yes. Right now, if it's not yes and you don't damn near NDA me verbally, I can't do it. Man, there just has to be enough there for you to know, like, all right, cool, she's probably not calling the cops the moment that I finish. like after that, you always on the limb because you're a man.
I get it. I'm just talking about if I'm going through certain websites, FetLife or whatever. And when I see that you say that you're a brat, I'm done. I'm not even dealing with it. Every brat that I've ever dealt with, it was just an annoying experience. That's not fun to me. I like when you like me, period. Like we don't have to play no games. I'm into you. Let's rock and roll. Like I just don't enjoy that shit. You know what I'm saying? And individuals that say they're brats, now I'm still cool with them, but I just tell them, no, that's not cute to me. That's just something I don't fuck with. I don't rock with. It's not cute. When you say it, I'm not interested. It's a turn off. Period. Point blank.
Just because they say they a brat, don't mean they good. Like just because I'm a daddy, don't mean I'm a good daddy.
Yeah,
You know, I can say I'm a rapper, but that don't mean that I be putting anything better together than Dr. Seuss. You know, so
I just don't even like the word. The word just turns me off, yo. Because I've had such annoying experiences with people that call themselves that. There may be some good ones, like if I figured it out or whatever. But it's a trigger word for me. I'm so turned off by it that I don't even, if you are that, call yourself some other shit. I just like, nah, my brain is shut off. Just like you a stand-up comic now. You know what I'm saying? There's certain words you use on stage. Like if you say a certain word, like Jew or some shit like that on stage, like people won't even hear the context of the joke. They'll just hear that word and their brain shuts the down. It shuts my brain off. Period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Ain't nothing you can do.
I hear you with that. Like it's up to you to whether or not you want to take on certain challenges. Like you said, as a comedian, it's up to you as to whether or not you want to take on certain challenges with certain words or certain perspectives or not.
Yeah. No, I'm just good. I'm 42. I'm 42, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't got this time to just be pussyfooting around and playing this game. And you know what I'm saying? And you flirting with me, then I try to touch you or whatever. Like, okay, it's okay for you to initiate, you as the woman, and flirt. But then when I try to reciprocate that, oh no, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, smack me, get away from me. Like that's not fun to me. That's corny to me, man. That's not fun. I like a person that's resolute and that knows what she wants and wants what she knows. I probably like more dom women. You know what I'm saying? That are more vocal.
Okay, hold on, real quick. I'm trying to get a grasp of exactly what you just said. So you saying that the reason why is because you don't like the feedback that you're gonna have to basically the where you have to respond with in order for you to be able to tame them, which is why you don't like the brats like that.
Nah, that doesn't do it for me though. It doesn't.
Okay, well listen, man. There are different forms of doms.
Yeah.
All right. And the reason why I can resonate with what you just stated is I happen to fall into what they call a daddy dom. So some people try to say, let me see, my camera's on. I thought my thing was, y'all have seen all kinds of crazy stuff probably. So as a daddy dom, some people, yes, sir. Yes, baby, I just made you some ramen, baby. You gonna eat that in a second. This is not the daddy dom that I am, and that's a different type of daddy. This is child support daddy. But no, as a daddy dom, some people call us soft doms. Now, I'm not the softest of daddy doms. I have no problem being able to choke you, different stuff like that. But that's not as a only response. Now, I done heard of certain doms where they out here having a, they doing childish punishments on some of these chicks, like straight up, putting them in a corner and having them stand all rice and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's not the daddy that I am, baby. That's not the daddy I'm not even close to that daddy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely not gonna have you in the corner all rice. No. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, because he like, I'm ready to eat. And I don't blame him. Here, you want a big boy fork? All right, it's only gonna be one time though.
You got the kids, and we talking about BDSM, man.
Man, shoot. You know what? You want to know the saddest part? The saddest part is, ain't none of these kids get here from what I be doing like that. It was all pretty much the most boring, most vanilla.
We definitely gotta talk, man, about parties and all that good stuff, man. Because that's what I'm on right now. If I meet somebody and a relationship pops off, that's cool. But right now, the focus is comedy. I still have masculine needs, but I don't have I'm not in a situation to have a committed relationship, because I got to get my stuff together. I got to get my shit in order. But I still got needs that want to be taken care of. I'm not gonna go out and buy no prostitutes. I ain't going that far. But that's
I almost thought about it.
It ain't. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong.
There's a couple people though what they doing now, you know how they used to do like the massages, and then after the massage, you get like a happy end and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got girls out here doing that now. But the thing is, the way you find them is you got to go on dating apps, and then something to look funny about the way the profile is. But yeah, you can get a massage and go ahead and get that for regular price of a massage.
I think I'm with that. And it's what I ain't gonna be personal, but I'm gonna get personal, bump it. One of the reasons why I don't do the prostitution thing is because I don't have the same libido that I had 10, 15 years ago, right?
Okay.
So the thing is, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm paying $100 to get at some shit or whatever, and then I'm not able to function optimally.
Hey,
when it's time to do it. So I didn't pay the $100 just to be soft.
I feel like you're looking at that backwards, though. I feel like you're looking at that backwards, man. Like, you got to take, first of all, we got to be accountable here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you spending, which means it's not her fault. You can be accountable for what you spent, and technically, if you got your money's worth, she only signed up for one thing, and that's being able to be a facilitator. So she got a flat rate fee. Her flat rate fee, she did her job, because no matter how long it take you, that's what she earned. If it take you 15 hours, or if it take you 5
what I'm saying is,
minutes, that was on you.
Now listen. What I'm saying is, my libido isn't as strong to the point where it moves me to want to buy. Is what I'm saying.
Got you.
It's not. I'm not as thirsty as like when I was more. Yo, I need these buns. Yo, I got this buzz. Yo, fucking me going. I don't have that fervor no more. I don't have the inclination to spin. You know,
sometimes you don't. Because I'm not. Sometimes you just got
testosterone, my brother. Go ahead. What you said?
Sometimes you just got to do it to get you by. Like you just got. You got to hit rocks. Like sometimes you just got to skip a rock with it till you can get to the other side.
I always say, if like I use a basketball analogy, if you're having trouble hitting the 3-pointer, sometimes you gotta shoot a couple of layups to get your confidence back up. So I see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I paid up even
that's what I'm saying. Like
even if I don't smash, just to be in that atmosphere, she touched me or whatever, doing something. I'm gonna squeeze the tip, do something. At least I'm in that atmosphere, and it builds me up and makes me feel okay. I'm still interacting with female, even if I pay for it, because we all pay for it. Whether you pay for it directly or you pay for it indirectly, you're gonna pay for it. That's
man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. Like for instance, with like that Christmas story, like I mean, all I did was pay for the Chinese, my nigga. Like that's it. And like the rest of it was like old and prior investment. Like that was the third time I played that game. That's old money getting new pussy. You feel what I'm saying? When I when I had to get liquor and it was on Christmas and everybody was closed, shoot, I just went back to the crib real quick, grabbed some stuff that I had from a year or two ago. That's old liquor getting new, but you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a financial advisor. You just gotta set yourself
That's
up.
funny, man. That's funny. But this is like as a struggles of a 42-year-old man that's not really accomplished. These are the things that we deal with. I didn't plan on pivoting into the BDSM and all that, but it's a podcast. Like, if you watch Joe Rogan, them cats, they be all over the place, whatever. So, but it's still along the lines of a relationship. But the whole thing I was just talking about, the I don't knows, and you pretty much you got the answer right. A couple people got the answer right.
No, I've been there plenty of times. Look, how many times you talked to one of your boys? Mm-hmm. How many times you talked to somebody that you knew where you was talking to this girl, it was going on for like a couple weeks, whatever like that. Then somehow she disappeared. Then like a week, 2 weeks later, there's a whole other dude. Maybe she Facebook official, maybe she not, but maybe she posted different pictures and you can already read that from a mile away. You're not going to tell me this dude just came out the blue when I just got off the phone with you on Tuesday and somehow he popped up Tuesday evening.
No. Like, Yo, I had this one time, I met this chick on like Facebook dating or some shit. And we had plans for Tuesday, right? I think I met her like Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. And we was talking, a good conversation Monday. We made plans for Tuesday, but for whatever reason, something happened. I think she couldn't do it or I couldn't do it. I can't remember. The plans was canceled. Then I hit her up the next day. And then she was like, I'm not interested no more. I met somebody else. I was like, bitch, I just met you Sunday and it's Tuesday. And we canceled the date. Like what the fuck did you do within 48 hours?
I'm keeping 1,000. I'm gonna keep 1,000, man. There's nuances. There's nuances to all this. It's like watching different movie plots. Like sometimes you know what's gonna happen, sometimes you this and that, right? So like I might be dealing with somebody. In fact, you got personal, I'm gonna get personal, right?
Yeah.
So I still be dealing with Christmas. That's what we're gonna call it. I still be dealing with Christmas from time to time. Whatever. I've already evaluated that. That's not a situation that I would actually commit in, invest in deep or whatever. And I try to make sure that it's known. Now, I have learned that the more you try to be honest about that, the more it seems to do the opposite of what you actually trying to get from it.
Right.
But I've still communicated, like, look, I just be trying to be out here get used for my wee. I'm not trying to get, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. How you hear that is how you hear that, but that does not mean that I did not say that, because I do not take a woman's choice away. As long as you are honest, you never know what somebody will sign up for as long as you're honest. And that's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
They feel like they gotta lie and they want to manipulate you. But for me, I'm like, look, if you sign up for it, you sign up for it. So at that point, whatever the hell happens in the middle of it, because you wanted to change my mind, anything else like that, that ain't had nothing to do with me, because I was honest and I'm gonna do it again and again and again.
That's real. That's real. That's real.
So we can keep that. So I'm still dealing with Christmas. But before I met Christmas, about a month or two before that, I had interacted with somebody that was on Facebook dating. And I ain't know, she was saying that she was in a polyamorous situation and she was looking for somebody that was open-minded, so forth, so on. Shoot, Ted think on level 5. So I'm always open-minded. I said, what's good, baby? How we talking? Now, that ended up being a much bigger, deeper connection than I would have ever expected for it to end up being. Next thing you know, we go out for my birthday weekend.
Right.
We gone for the whole weekend at that point, because I usually don't get to see her often, different shit like that. And then she was so busy, a lot of things happened. She was getting out of that situation she was already in, shit like that. I'm like, well, damn, like my wee still gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like I gotta shoot, because like I ain't gonna lie, like I was really throwing it back on my birthday. It was crazy. I think I was 18 that day. I wasn't, but I felt it.
Time machine, hot tub time machine.
Right. So there was some miscommunication. Now, when I recently reconnected with her in talking, and it was transparent, we just doing what we doing now. It'll happen how it happens, but it is that kind of deep connection. So in dealing with Christmas now, if Christmas just randomly was like, I told her we can't do it no more, this and that, yada, yada, whatever. And then I pop up a week later or something like that with somebody else. Well, guess what? It ain't no different than what a lot of women do. At the end of the day, birthday weekend was always there before you in the first place. Mm-hmm. Only difference is she had the juice already.
Yeah.
So you came and whatever was left to drink is what you was drinking. And I had plenty of whatever that was to facilitate. And now you like, what the fuck happened to the juice that I thought I was drinking? I didn't know there was better juice here. I thought, you know what I'm saying? Like, you over here, I was trying to get the Welch's and your ass was over here with Crystal Light. You know what I'm saying? But like
24 hours, she done met a whole boyfriend. Obviously, it was probably somebody she was dealing with, and you know what I'm saying, and like going along with what you're saying.
So in my situation, I would be doing the same thing that women do to dudes all the time, where there's just somebody else that they was already interested in, whether they was waiting for it or whether they was just waiting for him to change their mind, or they finally told him about they was dealing with you, and then they told him that they was dealing with you and he didn't want to lose you. So now he over here trying to act like he really wants you, but really he just trying to keep somebody else off you. Like, come on, man, that happen all the time.
No. I mean, it didn't bother me. It was just odd, but it's just funny because women can do that because they have so many options. And just when you have a lot of options in general, it's easy to move on. It's just like, it's easy to get another job if you already have a job. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't have a job, it's that much more of a struggle because you're more desperate. People aren't as receptive if you're desperate. They'll take advantage of you. So I totally get it. But like in another situation, I made a joke about it. It was like I broke up with a chick, right? And I was like, 2 weeks later, I saw her. I said, bitches move on fast. I broke up with her 2 weeks later. I saw her at Stop and Shop, man. Within those 2 weeks, this bitch done got married. She got pregnant. She gave birth to 2 kids. Both of the kids. I said, both of the kids is in college. I was like, damn, bitch, you don't got dick on deck. You got a whole life on deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but I'm like, God damn.
See a life on the line, call it.
Life on deck. But that's the thing, too. If you have the mindset that you want to be in a relationship and you just don't give a fuck, I just want to be in a relationship, I don't care, you're going to break up with somebody and just hop on the next person like with the quickness. Like who's the master at that? Jennifer Lopez is a prime example. When have you ever seen J-Lo single for 2 months? I'll wait.
I mean, listen, like you said, women it's easy to have that option. If she got a need, she got a need, whatever it is. I ain't gonna judge you. I ain't gonna judge you for it.
I don't judge it.
Unless you go in public too much, then I'm gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you because
it all don't gotta be so public. She'll never stay single. Even Kim K, even though she was with Ye for a long time, but it's like they started getting rocky. Now she
like, yo, there's rumors she ain't gonna be with A-Rod. And 2 weeks later, they was like, yo, we seen her with Ben Affleck again. What is this about?
It's funny. For a while, Diddy was hanging out before all this. I think before she got back with Mark Anthony the second time, I think she was spotted with Diddy a couple times. Like
that's what I'm saying. So like,
she got a little Rolodex of dicks.
She is doing, and I don't want to stray too much because, like, I know you got a topic today. Is the dating woes? So I mean, I don't know if it falls in or not, but
it connects. Though, it connects.
That falls into. Hey, hold on 1 second. Go into the other room. Put on something, man. So that falls into with women always liking familiar penis, right? Yeah. And what it is because I used to ask that too. I used to be like, yo, you already know. That's why people say like, oh, she's still messing with her baby daddy. She's still doing this. She's still doing that. And a lot of us will look at women, men, we so logical, they so emotional. A lot of us will look at women and we want to judge them for that. I talked to somebody one time and they actually explained it to me. And I was like, that's probably the most logical thing I've ever heard that women do. And it is that women constantly go back to familiar, not only just because, the interaction they receive is so penetrated, so intimate, but what it is that the majority of women do not. And I mean, I'm talking like a high percentage, like 70% of women don't actually get off on vaginal penetration, or they don't actually end up dealing with somebody who can get them off in that way. So they go back to wherever they know they can get the particular of that. So they don't go back to whoever couldn't get it done. They go back to whoever could get it done. So that's why it ends up being, she going back to the same dude that before. She might not even like Holmes no more, but she know that he down to do it, and she know he can get the job done. So that's somebody to come fix your plumbing. I don't want him to come to my house party, but you can come up in this house to fix this plumbing real quick.
I picked the analogy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the
thing I ever heard women do.
But it's like like some of these women are so logicless because it's like they'll put up with so much shit with a person who they deem as familiar. Like you have some women that will be faithful or keep in contact with a dude in prison for 20 years and let him run on. He got a whole boyfriend in jail. She's still down with him, or he womanizing her in the streets, blah, blah, blah. But
listen, just like you don't cheat on your barber, you don't cheat on your plumber.
But peep. But then she'll go on a date with this other fella, this other cat that's like, he's more square, and they having a dinner date. And, he mentions that he's a Republican or a libertarian or some shit like that. And she never calls him again. She got this one nigga that punched her in the face, cheat on her, gave her herpes, had babies with her best friend, and she's still fucking with this nigga 25 years. But this dude is a supporter of the Red Party, and and she wanna leave before the cheesecake come. There's no logic. It makes no sense. And then they wonder why they struggling so much. It's like, yo, can you think to yourself that maybe basing your decisions clearly on some bullshit fictitious vibe and based on your emotions solely 100% on that?
I'm gonna tell it to you like this. This is not going to be a subject matter, but we can get into this another day.
Yeah.
Right. The main reason why that is, and it goes way bigger than definitely this conversation. But the main reason why that is a lot of times it comes down to something with them, and it comes down to a trauma response. And so a lot of times you don't know what they have learned to associate with other things. So if they grew up in a certain way where as much as they know, this kind of behavior is not acceptable, it's not good, it's this and that, as much as they know that, when you get traumatized, and there is a way to have like positive trauma, but hardly.
Yeah.
When you get traumatized, you basically running on autopilot. That's what your body is. The same way we got fight, flight, The same way we got intuition,
Yeah.
trauma can be just that strong. So when you have a trauma response potentially from where they growing up, maybe a former Me Too movement, maybe all of it, maybe your stepdad mixed with a Me Too, mixed with a this, mixed with a that still falls into that territory of familiar. But it's so familiar, it's unconscious. Just like they don't usually fully know why they go back to the familiar D, but it's unconscious. It took me a lot of women to finally find somebody who could actually explain to me that, because they knew it on a conscious level, whereas the majority of women that I did know did not know it on a conscious level. So I think part of that goes into something we would never. Yes, baby. I got you. It's something that we might never understand unless we really got to that kind of depth with a woman to be able to decipher, if you will.
Yeah. But it's like, why do they have permission to be irresponsible and act however the fuck they want to act and have all these reasons for what they do? But we're held to a higher standard. Like, it's like women that kill their own kids, but they get like they get off. No pun intended. They get off, court wise because of what's it called, postpartum or some shit like that. Yeah, postpartum. A stress after pregnancy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Postpartum, and there is. It's rare, but there is a version of postpartum for men. Really, as legitimate as that may be, the longer version of postpartum for men is called baby mama syndrome, and that BMS is a motherfucker. I'll tell you that right now. I've been played with it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. But it's like we're not allowed to like have feelings. Like the person that I'm really into, she'll going through all this shit and stress and blah blah blah. And a lot of times women, when they talk, they don't want solutions. They just want to be heard. So I totally get that. But it's like, yo, I can't feel pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you slight me, I'm not allowed to say nothing. I'm supposed to just take it and be the 10 man or be like a Vulcan with no emotions because you're going through some shit. That shit hurts me too. Like Mike McRae said in the song End of the Road, my heart hurts. My heart hurts. I feel pain too. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be a fucking cyborg? Like, this shit is crazy to me.
Well, I believe, they say the women's revolution. Hold up. There you go. Don't make a mess. I know you too, but don't make a mess. Whatchamacallit? They say, the women's revolution been going on for about 70 years, which is, everything from them being allowed to be more free in the workplace or more free with their sexuality and so forth. That's all yours, baby. That's all yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you. It might fall. You're right, though. That might fall. Daddy should probably fix that. And so the same thing, I feel like what happened is now there's a men's revolution going on, but it's only been going on for the equivalent of about 15, 20 years. Yeah. So I feel like we are in an infancy of even women being able to find a way to embrace men who are, I don't want to say more emotional, but are more communicative with their emotions. Whereas, because they always beg, and one thing I always noticed is they was always begging to see my more emotional side. They was always begging to see this version of me, that version of me. Right. And then when I finally end up giving it, and noted on my fault, it usually be when they was about halfway done after I was honest about not wanting you, and you still decided to wait 2 years thinking I was going to change my mind, but whatever.
Yeah.
But what I noticed, or what I felt like for a long time, was once I actually gave it or showcased it, it seemed like it turned them off more. So for a long time, I wasn't doing it. It wasn't until I kind of realized, like, well, no, that's because a lot of times by the time they saw the full extent of it, they was already pretty much checked out. So a lot of times by then, it's like, well, why now? So at that point, even if they like it, they couldn't believe it. They couldn't embrace it.
Right.
So a lot of times, but I do feel like with a lot of women, I do have to have a certain amount of reservation in the beginning in order. And I used to do that as far as not even emotional, but just like personality wise and stuff. Like, they all like it when I'm talking to them, just real cool. What you doing, baby? How we doing? This and that, yada, yada. When I talk to them one way, but then as far as actually acquiring them, if it wasn't more closer to that, it wasn't going to happen. So the
Yeah.
way that I met it was I just found ways to be more honest and just figure out my communication through honesty. And
Yeah.
then what that happens to do is, and I'm not saying it's gonna get you, more beautiful women, but it might depend. They all got different trauma. Trauma response can fucking make a 10 fuck your ass. And you like, that's not even, I should have never been able to get that bitch. But what I prefer to do is, ultimately have women who are mature enough to understand the interaction. That's how you're gonna keep yourself mostly out of the Me Too's. That's how you're gonna keep yourself into having more consensual situations. That's how you're gonna have yourself, choking the chick out because of your testicles is covering her nostrils while y'all was doing a weird position and stuff. I mean, as long as you are honest, my nigga, like that's just what it is.
That's funny, man. Good shit. Good shit. Yeah, man. But it's like, what I'm saying? Like, and me like getting on these chicks about, making emotional decisions. Why, like their extreme emotions is the reason why they still put up with these bullshit situations. The way I emotionally feel about this one particular individual is why I keep coming back to her. You know what I'm saying? But I still do my thing. There's still other people. Like, don't get it twisted. I still do my thing. But it's like, I don't know. I got this weird special. She got a special place in my heart, and she reminds me of a chick that I was in love with over 20 years ago when I was going through like a real traumatic situation.
Oh man, my man on his R&B for real. All right, I'm here for it.
What was that?
I said my man on his R&B for real. I'm here for it. Let's go.
So she reminds me like her bitchiness, her curly hair. You know what I'm saying? It's like a reincarnation of this individual, and it's crazy because the individual that I was in love with like 20 years ago. She was fucking with some other dude, and her mother had passed away. When her mom's had passed away, I was in college at Eastern, right? And she called me, but I was like in class. I couldn't, and her mother was in the hospital and he was about to pull the plug. She wanted me to be there for her, but I just wasn't able to. And the other dude that she was fucking with at the same time, he was there for her when her mother passed away. Now, and the thing is, I didn't realize that they were a couple. My YouTube about to die. I didn't realize that they were a couple until like I was at the funeral and they were in the front row holding hands. That's when I found out they was a couple.
Oh boy!
And the thing is, her mother died 2003, 18 years ago, right? She has a daughter that's about to be 19 now.
Yep.
Like all that shit happened that fast, and it was just like I was like so into her. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't the greatest looking or whatever, but emotionally, she just had me because she was there when I was going through some traumatic shit, So, I think I'm not even in love with her. I think I just associate her with a traumatic experience that I was going through. You going through some type of traumatic experience and somebody's giving you sex consistently, it's gonna be hard to forget that person. So just like I still think about her, the dude that was with her it was a guy that was with her when her mother was passed away. He was with her when the plug was pulled. You know what I'm saying? He was with her at the funeral. Damn. I get it, I get it.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
But the chick that I'm with now, I'm not with, but the chick
that goes into that situation of the person you ain't know was around, but you was talking to somebody, but they was like really deep around, like really deep. Like
I knew that nigga was around because like it's funny. I used to take her to I used to try to help her to get her GED, whatever. It's funny or whatever. And I remember one day I went to pick her up. And the nigga, like, you know what I'm saying, he was coming out and this nigga had no shoes on, this shit with the socks. I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, do your thing, but damn, tell her, like, I'm coming to get you, tell the nigga to leave. But I think that was strategic too, though. I think that was strategic, like, yo, this is my new nigga. Some tall, ugly, flat-faced Jamaican.
Well, when you say he came out, what you mean he came out? Just to throw out the trash, or he came out?
No, he was like, when I was picking her up, the nigga was putting his shoes on and leaving. Like, I came to the door and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you could have told me to wait 5 minutes or something. Like, you ain't had to make be up in my face.
Yeah, yo. So it's like and she used to use me for sex. She used to use me as a human dildo. I was young. I was 21, 22. Had the vitality. I could smash for 6 hours back then. You know what I'm saying? So I get why. And I would always pay. I would always take her out. But you know what I'm saying? She had a son. I couldn't.
I feel like it's a real story.
What you saying?
I said one day we got to talk about the 6 hour story because I feel like it's a real story.
Oh yeah, but I don't smash for 6 hours straight. I do sexual things for 6 hours straight.
Of course not. You gotta have listen. On that birthday weekend, I was telling her straight up, this might last about long as a movie trailer. It's been a minute, baby. Yeah. And Yeah, at the end of the
you know
day,
what?
I mean, it was about 4 hours deep. But I mean, yeah, that don't mean there wasn't a 5 or 10 minute intermission in between every once in a while. Like
and
I
it's
go
all,
drink a half gallon of apple juice or something in the middle. Come on now.
yeah, and it's not about how long you can smash, it's about your refractory. We gonna come. It's about the refractory period. But anyway, but anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like the new person, the person I'm dealing with now, it kind of reminds me of that person back then. Like similar skin tone, you know what I'm saying? Like similar hair, similar bitchy ass attitude. It's crazy. I don't like the term brat, but I'm turned on by bitchy women. I'm weird, man. I like bitches.
That's because they push you back. The only thing is, what you got to do is, like I told you, I'm a daddy, but in some part call us a soft dom.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I don't deal with women like that and still be able to do it. It's just everything I do is verbal. You know, a lot of it's not being phased. A lot of it's being able to say something and not necessarily always one up them as much as it is I'm unfazed, but don't think to play with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I say something, they go, damn, I ain't got nothing, but they got to stop and be like, damn, that's, you know, they go, well, that just made me wet. And you just like, what the hell just happened to all the bullshit you were just talking about? So a lot of times you got to stay like in your own head verse. You know, you got to stay in the Mo verse. Sometimes when they say certain things, it'd be like, one, I know she don't mean it. Two, you know, I really could give two craps, this and that, yada, yada, you know? So like with Christmas, she be talking to me and she be saying certain stuff like she thinks she's a B to everybody. She thinks that she's mean. She even thinks she's mean to me. I don't think you're mean to me. She was just like, I'm mean to everybody. I said, well, you can do whatever you want to do with whoever you want to talk to or how to treat them niggas like you want to, as long as you won't come over here acting that way.
Right.
Said, hey. I said, you can do whatever you want to do with all them other motherfuckers that you be talking to over there, as long as you don't come over here act that way. Right. She said, the fact that you had the audacity to repeat it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it.
Yo, one thing I'm noting with this particular one, because like I tell her, I'm always sweet, I'm always nice, man. And then actually, like, I'm behind the scenes, I want to play you some of these audios. After a while, I was just like, yo, I'm tired of this fucking bullshit. You the only one that's allowed to have emotions and feelings, man. Fuck out of here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? The things that you say, the things you do, that shit hurt me too. You know what I'm saying? You complain about this nigga, and then, you know what I'm saying, when it come back to me, and I'm trying to give you some honest whatever, I'm trying to see you, and you give me the fucking run around way. This nigga, man, I'm tired. Fuck all this bullshit. And then, you know, she would try to do her little virtue, like her little like female tactics and trying to give me shit. And I'm like, yo, this shit ain't working. This is dumb. This ain't working. Get the fuck out of here. This is bullshit. And when I started talking like that, she was giving me mad energy and kept talking to me, and then hit me up this morning on some sweet shit. Hey, how you doing?
That's what I'm trying to tell
you. Like the whole yesterday didn't happen.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
This was being a total ass. Then they're about to cry over nothing just because I'm getting tired of just being marginalized and treated like an option. I'm like, okay, yo, even if you treat me like an option, like make pretend like you not. You feel me?
Here's what you gotta do. Huh? You need to assess what you're trying to get from it. If you ain't trying, like you said, you ain't trying right now to be in a committed situation.
No, I just want consistency.
So if that's the case, yeah, and consistency is cool, but guess what? If you know that, then everything is about what your position is. It's like being a cop or whatever. It's your jurisdiction. If you ain't trying to commit with it, you are not in your jurisdiction to be going, you can't treat me like an option. Yes, I can, because there's only one other option. If you're not committing,
that's true.
You an option.
That's true.
Now, you can be the best option so that they always come back and choose you. But shoot, just because you go to McDonald's every morning don't mean every once in a while you go to Burger King.
Let me give some more. let me give some more clarity. She's not in a position to be in a relationship because she has her situation that she's dealing with. All I'm saying is, when it's my turn, I want your undivided attention. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That could be once a month. That could be once every 4 months. You feel me? Mm-hmm. There's been plenty of time. I had a whole girlfriend.
Put your phone down. I feel you.
My bro, I had a girlfriend for like 5 or 6 months this last year. Didn't talk to that bitch. That bitch barely even knew I was gone. You know what I'm saying? There's times I won't talk to her for weeks on end. So I have no problem cutting her off. It's just that when she opens herself back up to me, I'm very, very attracted to her, and I enjoyed the experiences. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, when it's my time, Let me enjoy my time. It's just like if I'm doing stand-up for you, I got 10 minutes to do some stand-up for you, right? If I'm on stage and I'm busting my ass, bitch, I don't want you on your phone and talking to other people. I'm like, look, so, you only got 10 minutes.
You communicated that. Did you communicate that with, like, for instance,
I do say that.
A long time before you communicate something, like, it's been bothering me for weeks, but now I'm about to say something. Because the thing is, it's all in tone and communication. That's, sure. Just like it's body language, there's vocal language.
Yeah.
And if you go listen, and I ain't trying to be too extra about it, nothing like that. All I'm saying is, when it's my time, when I'm here with you, just give me your undivided so we can do what we got to do. We don't see each other off like that, so let's just go ahead and be able to focus on that time.
Fuck off your phone. Stop lamenting over the dude that you really want.
You feel me? But like that's the difference in communication than being like, nah, you ain't gonna keep on acting like this with me.
True.
Because
you right.
You get what I'm saying?
You're right. And I have, well, I'm being passionate for the sake of the show, but I have started to do that. I was like when she started complaining about the other dude, I'm like, yo, like not for nothing, like you can do what you do, but that's my competition, and I'm not gonna give you advice on how to be more successful with a nigga that's my competition. I don't want to hear about that motherfucker.
Nah,
I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, that's perpetrating. And she should know not to do that, but it's good for you to set a boundary to go, look, I'm all right if you got these other dudes or whatever you're doing, but don't come ask me advice on how to help you with this dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna give you the blueprint.
With him, and then you call me every time he mess up. Yeah. But don't expect me to fix or assist with him messing over less, so you need my services left. That's bad business, baby.
Bad business. Like, why am I going to give you the blueprint, right? Why am I going to give her the blueprint to put her in a position to give me less buns?
Exactly. That's bad business, baby. Don't do that. You
just my friend.
Go, how you really making them fries like that, though? I know they say we the best, but I seen you just won the competition. How you doing it? No, man, we not going.
But check it though. She'll try to play psychological games. Oh, I just needed a friend, and I want to talk. Like, I don't give a fuck. I want to hear that. I don't want to hear that shit.
Okay. Listen, you got somebody else who's a friend.
Yeah, talk to one of your homegirls.
Commit to this dude and be with this dude like that. Because I'm not a platonic friend, it is uncomfortable for me to listen to such conversation.
Because I've had issues with other women. Because I got other bitches, like, you know what I'm saying? And I never brought that to her. Never.
Terrible on you, treating women like objects. I'm just messing with you.
You know what I'm saying? Other people that I'm single. I got other people that I've dealt with. I've had other people that are like, she, because she has a poly mindset. So we talk about, different experiences, whatever. But when you're expressing that you like really in love with somebody, and basically if he said yes, you just kick me to the curb. That's not some shit I want to hear. I want to, I want to, you know what I'm saying, keep this little experience going. Now, if you about to get married or what have you, that they're not gonna understand that. But as long as you're single, like I don't want to hear about the competition, like how they got you all stressed out, how you'll go above and beyond. You'll drive an hour every other day to see this person.
That's crazy. No, that's too much. No. Yeah, no, that's too much.
I'm talking about this chick will drive an hour to see his individual. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's too much of her telling you.
Yeah, pay for hotels. Like you telling me all this stuff, you'll go above. And this is why I had the issue with this is why the I don't know thing is an issue, because you giving the blueprint. You're telling me everything that you do for somebody when you're really into them. Buy hotels, sex whenever you want, sexy lingerie, go an hour to see you. You know what I'm saying? Let them treat you like shit. But I just want some basic shit like, yo, I'm gonna pick you up. Let's go bowling, and then maybe, I don't even talk about sex, because when I put sex in the front street, her mind automatically gets shut down. You know what I'm saying? But she always makes the first moves when we're into it. It's like women treat men.
See that to me.
Hold up, I'm gonna let me finish real quick.
Like
women,
that's a toxic friend zone. Let me finish. That's a toxic friend zone, right?
Say what?
I said that's a toxic friend zone, man.
Yeah, but let's
like you can't do that. Where it's like, no, you'll do it when you, and don't get it twisted. You have the right to actually do the act when you want to do it, but you're not going to control every mood of when it get done and how it get done, and because then that's playing with me on how I'm supposed to interact, and then I'm supposed to act different on it. Nah, we're not doing that.
She treat me like a lot of women treat dudes like a human dildo. You know what a dildo can't do? A dildo can't ask for sex. If a woman had a dildo in her drawer and all of a sudden dildo's like, I want to have some sex. She's like, what the fuck? She'll throw that dildo away. She'll get terrified. She'll be offended. She gonna call the cops, whatever. And that's how a lot of these women treat us, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't ask for it.
We got to be ready to deliver when it's time. And then when they done with us, they don't even clean us off. They throw us back in the drawer next to their underwear, get their socks and their drawers dirty and shit like that. And but we as the dildo, we are an inanimate object to them. We're not supposed to ask. And that's how she treats me. It's like, yo, why should I feel offended because I want to have sex with you, yo? Why? Or not offended, but why should I have to walk on eggshells because I want to be with you physically? That's crazy, yo. And it's crazy because really, like, oh, I want a man to be honest and upfront and be like, yo, if I want to fuck, I just want to fuck. Yeah, bitch, that only works with a nigga that you really, really into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, that's also the vibe sometimes. Like, you know, sometimes I have a chick and they sit there, they be like, oh, well, I want to cuddle or something like that. And I'll be like, yeah, I can't, you know, we got to be honest with ourselves sometimes. It's like, yo, that's just not my vibe right now. Like that ass, like I'm way too horny to have you. But I'll say it in a way where it's just obvious. I'll be like, yo, I'm way too horny to have you next to me. And me not trying to
that's real.
Like that's just my vibe right now. Like it's not that I got a problem cuddling with you or nothing, but I ain't gonna lie, like but my best friend just acting like he got to get in. And so if you come,
I gotta figure this out because like the thing is, we'll be honest, we go out. I never initiate. Like then she'll get tipsy. Right? And then she always initiates, starts flirting with me. You know what I'm saying? I like you, so of course, if you're gonna flirt with me, I'm gonna be down with it. But why does it have to take you to be in an altered state of consciousness? But I looked up a statistic, and a lot of women they just like to they like to be on some type of substance to kind of take it there because they don't want to make that decision themselves. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, well, it's plausible. It's plausible deniability, man.
Yeah,
you know. Being able to just
and that's crazy, and that's a dangerous game to play with in these Me Too times.
It's a dangerous game because
but she always tells me that
turn it the other way and be like, oh, he did something when I didn't want him to do it.
But she always tells me like she did like you know we've been intimate a few times, and she was like that's how I get, but you have consent. Like she always reassures me. I got plenty of text messages, all that kind of shit or whatever. Yep. And it's been plenty of times she'll get tipsy, get all over me. You know what I'm saying? And damn, I'm getting turned on. Then she started playing the brat game. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I'm like, and she's already kind of tipsy. I'm like, nah, I'm not. No.
Yeah, that's when you just got. Sometimes I just involuntarily choke a bitch, man. My hand just be preset on autopilot. You say certain things and go, you know what?
But you know what though,
man? Like
I gotta start. You know, when she gets in that mode. When she starts flirting with me and stuff like that, I gotta play her game and start saying no and being coy and shit. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be like, nah, man, I ain't trying to. You know what I'm saying? I gotta create some type of sexual tension to where the point she damn near attacking me. You know what I'm saying? I can't always be so easily received. You know what I'm saying? Or easily provoked, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I hear you. And like you say, it's a dangerous game. It's a balance, man. It's a balance. It really is. But because, you know, I done had the person that I ain't never had to choke before. And then they said something, thought they was slick, but we done already hit it a couple times. So she said something, thought she was cute. I choke her up. Then she leave the house. Then she, you know, I get the text message right after. You know what? I don't think I ever got wet faster than when that, and then you like, oh snap, I forgot.
But look at the anxiety between when you did that and when you got that text.
Well, no, she left because she had to leave.
Okay, my bad. I misunderstood what you said.
No. Teddy Ren know how to do what Teddy Ren.
Yeah. Okay, I misunderstood.
No. But you're right. As I was giving the response, I was like, damn, he gonna think she left because I choked.
but once you, because Patrice O'Neal got this funny bit. He's like he loved like when you have sex with a chick, but in the next day she texts you back, oh, I had a good time. He's like, yes, that's the I didn't rape you text.
Yeah. And that's the truth.
Trying to get that confirmation. You had a good time last night, right? Yeah. Okay. Screenshot. Matter of fact, let me see your titties again real quick. Okay, yeah. Okay. She's following instructions. We good, money. But it's like it's stupid that we got to play these goofy ass games and do these things to protect ourselves. Like, why can't it just be simple? I like you, you like me. There's no games. Like, fuck it. We want to stand.
You know why? Because
fuck it.
Everybody. Excuse me. Unfortunately, everybody not built a certain type of way, and there is somebody out there who does not have compassion in their heart. All they got is leverage. All they got is how to come up. All they got is, you know, and maybe they was taught that, maybe it was trauma, maybe it was this and that. And those kind of people figure out how to leverage on somebody so big, so powerful, so publicly that you ain't got no choice but to now have like just like the greatest rapper alive gonna have a bunch of kids, you know, like people start sounding like him. You know, Richard Pryor, you know, oh, he one of the greatest comedians, but you got a lot of comedians that kind of like, you know, you start seeing the spirit of him in their stuff. They might not be doing what he was doing, but they got the spirit. Those, I'm a child of Richard Pryor, or I'm a child of George Carlin, or I'm a
Patrice
child
O'Neal, baby.
You feel what I'm saying?
Patrice O'Neal. That's
So,
I'm a child of Patrice, you know.
you feel what I'm saying? So imagine somebody who, you know, imagine, you know, women or men or whatever, watching somebody else leverage in a public way over money or over, you know, power or something like that. Eventually, it trickles down where those, they may not, you know, everybody not gonna start trying to become a rapper just because they like Jay-Z. But that don't, they didn't try to rap at one point and do it a little bit dabble.
Yeah.
And that dabble just might be what it is to catch another nigga up in the wrong situation.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, I'm learning a lot, man. You schooling me like you, or you're not schooling me is the word, but you're making me see like different perspectives and in different ways of approaching it. But I will say, when I got way more stern the other day with this chick, like her tone is different.
Yo, and I'm sure. Tell me,
and I'm not letting her walk over me no more, man.
That ever happened to you?
What was that?
I said that's probably not the first time that ever happened to you, right?
With her, just in general. Well, as far as what?
Just in general, like other women, even too. You was just like, yo, I notice sometimes when I get real, just the fuck wrong with you? They be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That's not my nature though. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
that's the only thing.
But you gotta find it, dog. You gotta find it. I'm gonna tell you why. Especially because, like you said, you got needs. You trying to do something, but you ain't trying to commit. If you ain't looking for a wife, you ain't got no choice. Because women, every woman, there was a meme that I posted one time, and every woman perfectly agreed with this. And they were just like, they want a man to be able to tell them, just shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down.
I see that all the time.
But I'ma like it, and that's it. So sometimes you just gotta find the heart in knowing how to deliver. It's like a joke. You gotta find the heart in knowing how to deliver it without necessarily making everybody think that, you know, you a child molester. Like just because I delivered the story don't mean.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I see what you. That's a good analogy. That I definitely see what you're saying. And like you said, if I don't have like any intentions of a serious commitment, in essence, I'm playing a game too. That's a different sport. And if you know, if you're playing a different sport,
it's more fun because you build attention.
Yeah, and if you're playing a different sport, you got to have the right equipment.
Exactly.
You got to have the right.
So when you
got the right. Yeah, you're right.
That's all they want. That's all they want.
I'm trying to bring like baseball cleats to the motherfucking ice skating to a hockey rink.
Exactly. And every woman might be playing a different sport. She might not tell you. Sometimes you get a blessing in a woman to tell you what sport she playing. But most of the time, you just got to identify like, wait, this ball don't fly that way when I throw it that way.
And you know why? You know why that is? Because the woman never wants it to be her fault. So you got to figure it out. They position things in a certain way because the thing is, one of a woman's biggest failure. A woman's biggest fear is failure, right? Or being rejected. You can't be rejected if you don't ask.
Honestly, that's all our biggest fear.
So yeah, of course, but they're more than anything because they don't. Their strength. Their strength is that we desire them. That's their strength. They can't overpower us physically, but their strength is the fact that we're really into them. So if you don't
figure out that delivery,
what was that?
I said, figure out that delivery. My man said they can't overpower us physically. Like, okay, don't get canceled.
Oh no, well, I'm just saying, like you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like when it comes to a fight, they can't. They don't have power, but they have psychological power because they know that we desire them. So when you take away the desire, or you pretend like you don't want them, what power do they have? They don't have no power. You took away the little power that they have. And the thing is, if they ask, you put them in a position to like. There's a potential that they can be rejected, and if they are rejected, they're powerless. So they arrange
artistry. That's called stealing a woman's frame. Yeah. So if a woman, a lot of times a woman's natural frame is to reject or deflect or act like she doesn't want you in a certain way, this or whatever like that. So if you're able to steal her frame before she can utilize it, it's the same thing like Eminem did in 8 Mile when he go, all right, now tell them people something they don't know about me. He stole his frame. Since he stole his frame, he was completely unarmed. So then because he's left vulnerable, now you can do whatever you want. That's the same thing with women, is if you can steal that frame, your chances of being rejected are unlikely or less likely. I won't say unlikely because
I get it.
they less likely than they would have been if you just leave her with all the framework.
Like this how women work. She owe $100 for a cell phone bill. Now, a normal person be like, yo, babe, like, you know what I'm saying? Fucked up. I owe $100 for my cell phone bill. She'll say, oh my gosh, I gotta pay this cell phone bill. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And we as the men, we always trying to come up and have solutions and solve the problem. Yep. And especially if I love you and I'm into you, automatically I'm gonna try to solve that. And she knows that, but she doesn't want to get rejected. So she'll just put the scenario out and then you will latch on and you will try to like, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
And it's up to you not to do that and be able to go around it another way. Because for all you know, you might be down to give it $100, but you ain't gonna just do it just to do it. I mean, you could if you just want to be nice, but if you want to make sure that you got that frame where she know, I know what I'm gonna have to do to get it, then you know, whether it costs you that or not, at least she knows I'm gonna have to do this to get it. So you know when you mention that to me, what you gonna have to do to get it. So either don't mention it to me. You get what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Teddy, Teddy dropping my boy Teddy Wren, man. Like for those that's on my Facebook and those that's on my YouTube, this is just the behind the scenes talk. I'm gonna put the actual conversation, like the two-way conversation, back up on YouTube and on Facebook as soon as I'm done with this conversation with the homeboy, up and coming comedian Teddy Wren. This dude's a relationship guru, man. I feel like I'm talking to Patrice Dr. Phil right now, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's like that, yo. It's Teddy Talks Love out here, bro. You know,
I gotta bring it back, I'm a man of logic too. You know what I'm saying? And you saying some real things. Like sometimes I get in my head. I don't talk to like enough. I keep to myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to have these conversations like this, just to kind of like hear different perspectives, and it actually gives you ammunition. And like it's basically helping my mindset. So when I'm faced with these situations with different women in general, I can try these different things. You know what I'm saying? That you're telling me. And like you said, I've done some of these things and I've had success before, but sometimes we'll have success. It's like people that play basketball. Like you don't got no specific form, and then one day you hitting all your J's because your form was a certain way, but you didn't realize.
Now
what
you got to figure out what that form was that got you.
Somebody say, yo, keep your elbow in, keep your hand. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Don't shoot two-handed. Let it release off your fingertips. Like, and one day you was doing that, you didn't realize it. You were just feeling good, but you didn't understand the logic. But now that somebody told you what you were doing, you can consciously apply that moving forward. That also applies to comedy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, some comics, they'll be doing callbacks and misdirection, and they don't even realize they're doing it. But once you tell them what they're doing and you explain it, now they have a game plan when they're writing their jokes that they're
sometimes somebody could be a savant, they could be a natural, that can mess them up because now you gave them form and they're like, well, how do I do that again? Just like you was already doing
it. So I hear you, man. But listen, like this conversation, like, yo, I'm gonna bring you in more for different panels. We pretty much talked about the I don't know. The I don't know is because they're dealing with somebody that's always saying I don't know too. Hurt people. It's the bully syndrome. That's pretty much what is going on. And for me to be more successful in this situation is to just to be more stern and just call out the bullshit when it's happening. And man, I just
sometimes take time between responses. Sometimes, like I used to do a thing where, and I mean this is petty, but this was early, but like straight up, if you
Teddy,
listen.
Teddy.
Petty Wren is real, dog. Okay. And if you took let's say you took 20 minutes to respond to me, I'm not responding for 20 minutes minimum. Just because, unless it was something real, real small. Just because sometimes they give me time to think. Sometimes they give me time to come up with a better response. Sometimes I still even if you just want to play the little game of seeming a little more perceived busy, it does all that for you. And then you just got to work on your inner game where you just go, once I send that, I ain't even think about it. Because if you think about it, now you're waiting for a response, that's going to give you anxiety. So that's one thing I do. Another thing I do is if I notice that actually works with somebody, but maybe I'm around a lot so I can actually respond, I'll mute a chick on like Messenger, and I'll mute her just so that I don't get notifications. Somebody else I talk to on Messenger will talk to me at some point during the day. And when I back out, that's when I'm going to see her message. Oh, man, that was 45 minutes ago. Okay. And then I hit her back. So it's still perceived busy, but it's not something that's working on my mind as much.
Yeah.
And then
that
That happened to me this morning because after all night, I'm gonna read this out to you, right? After all the bullshit that happened like yesterday or whatever, all I said was, I think we kind of reconciled shit like the night before. The night before, I was giving her advice on like depression and listening to binaural beats and listen to positive philosophers to improve your mentality. But this morning, she was like, "Good morning," and all I said was, "Good morning," and I'm setting up because I'm setting up. It took me a while to set up this little setup. I'm gonna take a while to set it up. And then she was like, "You're okay." I didn't even realize. Like, look at the timestamp. 10:51. No, she said good morning at 10:44. Right. I say good morning back at 7 minutes later. And then at 10:51. 1 minute later, she asked, "You okay?" It took me 7 minutes to respond. Like, what made her say that? And I was like, I seem off. And she's like, a little bit. And I was like, how? All I said was good morning. She's like, exactly. So what am I supposed to say? Good morning, beautiful. You're so gorgeous. I can't wait to fuck you. I can't wait. It's like, I don't even talk like that. To me, that's like that's a psychological game that she's playing. It was
sometimes you just gotta, like that's another thing. I don't mess with chicks who just give me energy that I wouldn't want to be around whether I wanted to have sex with them or not.
Okay.
So because if I can't have decent energy without having sex with you, then all I'm gonna do is want to hit you up for the accessibility. And no matter what, even if you friends, like one of my best friends, she called me omnipresent daddy because she a brat. But even though she a brat, the end of the day, if her boyfriend was in the house, she tell him to leave if I pulled up at the door. That's just what it is. And it's one of those things where we still talk and we talk about plenty of different things, but there's still a maintenance to every relationship and friendship. But if I couldn't deal with just hanging with her, whether we was having sex or not, there's no point in me talking to you.
I enjoy when she's right-minded, I do enjoy her company. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, this is a trash motherfucker 24/7. She got issues and things like that. Nah, it's plenty of trash ass hoes. No, I actually care about this person, I know she got flaws and things like that, but when she get in her mode, when she lamenting over her guy or whatever, and want to lean on me, I just don't want to hear that shit. I want to read the rest of this
situation. Huh? That good in a situation, I would have been like, all right, so how would I have been able to, because I'm fine. I'm just fine right now. But how would I have been able to come off differently? And usually, because sometimes you got to turn the buck back on them. And if she would have been like, I don't know, then you just did what that is that's the end of the thread.
Check it.
Check that thread and just start a whole nother energy.
But let me read it. Sarcastic. But let me read it because like what you said is aligns with what I said. And it's like,
okay.
She said good morning, 10:44. 10:51. I say good morning. She's like, 1 minute later, you okay? And then I'm like, 1 minute later, I'm like, matter of fact, not even 1 minute later, within that same 30 seconds, I'm like, I seem off. And she's like, a little bit. And then this is what I say, like literally a minute after that, like within the same minute. I said, how? I said, all I said was good morning. And I'm LOL. And then she's like, exactly, LOL. I said, so that means I'm possibly not okay. I said, I'm actually setting up a podcast about to talk about relationships. And I'm live right now. And then she's like, oh, okay, focus. She said, well, you might be happy to know I learned my lesson last night. Enjoy your podcast. I'm like, which lesson did you learn?
Oh, I can't stand when they do that. That's like telling somebody, oh, I'm about to go into work. All right, we need to talk, but you go to work first. Like,
yes! Yeah, don't do that to me. That's why in the beginning of this podcast, now I'm distracted talking to her, but okay, here we go. So, and I was like, which lesson did you learn? She said to stop acting like things are going the way I imagine without confirmation that it actually is, which is cool, smiley face. And I was like, nice. And then she's like, bound, and I'm setting up the podcast, and she totally derailing my shit right now. She's like, boundaries are necessary, and asking questions isn't bad. And I was like, what made you come to that conclusion? What prompted it? Because I still don't know what she's talking about. Is this in reference to the guy that you're always stressing? I say, yeah, but it's a good thing, right? I said, yeah, but you know how I feel about hearing about that situation. And I put like 30 periods after that shit. She's like, well, I don't have anybody to talk to, but okay, thanks. And I was like, I can dig it, but that's my competition. And she's like, you're clearly not paying attention. This is about me right now, but sorry. I thought you'd be glad to hear he doesn't fucking like me. And I said, it's a situation. And I said, yo, hold up, let me finish. And it's a situation from what you tell me, from all the surrounding factors, it's a situation you shouldn't even entertain. People not liking you doesn't make me happy. And he's doing you a favor not liking you. That situation ain't shit. And then she was like, and I'm an idiot. And although everything you said is right, sometimes I just need someone to talk to. And that's important to me. I said, I can dig that. You're not an idiot. You just lead with your heart. I said, but you don't want the job. Like she making it seem like I don't want to listen. Like she being an asshole. I said, hey, I'm listening. I'm also podcasting too. I told you this shit already. And she said, we can chat. I said, she said, Kay, talk to you later. I said, we can chat, but just know I'm streaming as well. The topic is about women and who always say, I don't know. It actually has a lot of comments and I'm reading them. And that's where I start. That's where I stop.
Yeah.
So you see what you see the bullshit I'm dealing with?
You got a situation very similar to my best friend. My best friend has a situation like that of a chick he dealt with years and years ago. She'd have had him, they didn't have the full like in love thing. She done almost got married, not married, had a kid, all kinds of stuff on them. And they got such a close relationship, yet she doesn't fully embrace him in the way that it could have went for different things. And he's constantly telling her like, she'll try to talk about her baby daddy and he'll be like, I don't want to hear about that nigga. And then every once in a while she'll be like, oh, he lost his job. And he like, okay. Then she'll get mad he ain't respond a certain way. And then he'd be like, I done already told you I don't want to talk about that nigga in the first place. So why would I respond a certain way? Why are you mad at me for responding a certain type of way? And that reminds me exactly of that kind of situation. Man.
You want to hear the wild shit?
Against that, honestly, I would have stopped when she said, oh, well, I just needed somebody to talk to, but okay. Because honestly, the resolve at the end of the day, if you look at everything else that happened after that conversation, and think about how it makes you feel, whether it's how you felt from how you handle it or anything else, it wouldn't have made you feel no different than if you didn't say shit after she said, okay, thanks. Because she would have had to deal with the fact that, hey, I don't like to talk about that. And you just went against a boundary. In order to showcase a boundary, you have to be rejected by the boundary. But if the boundary starts showing you it has some give, guess what? You'll try to push that boundary. So if you had just been like, yeah, I don't like really talk about that. I don't have a friend, this and that, but thanks. I don't like talking about that. Rather than adding but that's my competition, this and that. See, now that boundary just showed you it can give you some give. So she's not learning from the interaction like she could have if you had just been like, I don't like to talk about him. Now she ain't got no choice but to just not respond and get ignored and then deal with the feelings of that rejection due to the boundary. And the boundary is only there to respect and protect you.
And then how corny is that? He told me he doesn't fucking like me. And we was arguing yesterday, and then you come back. I don't want to hear, I don't care.
That's because that's what that's that rejection. The human condition of always wanting what you don't got. You bald, so you wish you had hair.
Never had the waves.
Too much hair. Now you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got a big penis, but I'm complaining about it. Yeah, well, there's plenty of other niggas who would not mind taking an inch if you want to donate it, my nigga. Like, what you want to do? so
that's
the human condition.
Yo, you better go back and watch this podcast because you got so much gold you could use on stage, my brother. You better go back and watch this. There's nothing but gold in here, man.
Man,
but you know what? It's funny. If I didn't care about this woman, I wouldn't. There's so many like chicks that I ran through. I don't care about. If I didn't care about her or have like a feelings for her, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But ultimately, I do care about her, and I want to see her do better. And she's been through a lot. You know what I mean? Yep. But I'm trying to get, like you said, setting those boundaries. Like, yo, I'm not the one to keep playing these stupid ass psychological games with, because I'm not doing that.
What it is? We are smart individuals. When you're a smart individual, you think so fucking much.
Yeah.
And you think all the time. And so what that does to you is it makes you impatient. Regular things in life, everything in life,
impulse
takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. So like if you hit her with the boundary, well, now you're thinking about all the things that she might be thinking or feeling because this and that, blah, blah. You're like, dang, what should I do about it? What should I do about it? Nothing. You do nothing because something is happening, but it's not something that you can do with your hands anymore. You ever seen a movie where somebody's like, trying to sell something, mm-hmm. and then the person goes, oh, well, whatever, I don't want it. And then the person just goes, all right. And then they wait, and then they go 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, yeah, by the way, is there a thing, blah, blah. And now they made the sale. It's because that person knows that whatever happens to us when we are in that tension of silence in our own head, mm-hmm. is way more powerful than them sitting there go, don't walk out the door. I just want to blah, blah. I already put the seed. I just got to wait for it to blossom, and different seeds make different plants. So when you do it with a boundary could take usually a couple hours to a day, but eventually they come back and they might want to talk about it. They might want to discuss it. And then that's when you can say the other stuff that you've not thought of.
Right.
Stuff like, hey, yeah, look, I wasn't trying to be harsh on you. It's just. And now you'd have kept your balls in your hand. You'd have had some brass knuckles, you know what I'm saying, like that. And you got the respect, and you ain't never had to compromise nothing. She probably gonna lay down just off of respecting you more.
Good point, man. That's a good point. Yo, listen, man. Listen, we can go on this stuff for hours and hours and hours, man. It was good talking to you. Like, this done turned to a therapy session for Mo Green with the homie Teddy. And I a lot of people like on social media, they like to make it seem like their life is perfect, and they, you know what I'm saying? I've had my share of women, you know what I'm saying? I've had hundreds of women, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in the lifestyle, you're gonna have a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? But I've had a lot of sustaining relationships, and I go through my struggles, and I go through my dry spells, and I'm just, I don't mind talking about it. I don't mind being the butt of the jokes and putting it out there, because I'm not no perfect nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's
why you're gonna get more mature women. You just gotta figure out that communication to keep your balls while you're doing it.
You're right. But one thing I did do, I eliminated all like regular dating apps. I got rid of them now. I got rid of all of them, because the thing is, it's like the energy, the time, the swiping, the rejection. Like, rejection hurts. Like, a lot of
we
cats
gotta talk
like,
about that next time, man. We gotta talk about that again, because
a lot of people,
man,
like,
when I talk about the
rejection,
dating app, bro, I got a lot for that.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about the dating. I'm just, okay, this will be a prelude to the next one, because we're going almost 2 hours. We can't do this. I could do this forever, but I got other shit I got to do. But absolutely. I got rid of all my dating apps. The same reason why I got rid of all my casino slot machine apps. Because I hit a couple of times, but all the energy and the time that I put in it doesn't justify like the rewards the quote unquote rewards that I get from dating apps and in slot machine apps does not justify all the time and the resources and the energy and the pain that I go through from the rejection of doing it. Absolutely. So I eliminated it completely. Like the person I'm talking about right now, I didn't meet her online. I literally met her at a supermarket. That's another reason why I'm so connected, because I met her in a natural, organic way. I saw her coming in. She was fine as a motherfucker at the Big Y in West Hartford. I was like, damn, this chick bad. And then I went to the aisle 1. That's where, if you know the Big Y in West Hartford, that's where all the soups and shit, the soups and the condiments. And she was just there by herself. I'm like, yo, this is like the fucking universe. And even when I approached her on this. I'm a stand-up comic. I do shows. Here's my Instagram. I even come at her on some type of bag and shit. It was just on some natural. I got her naturally and organically. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm kind of connected too, because I met her in that way. But the dating apps, I don't get no type of yield. Like, I don't the time and the energy I put into it does not justify.
It's few and far between, but it's good to work with. Like, dating apps, I use them exclusively because I'm trash on the internet. Like, the fact that like some of the best connections that I had out of girlfriends did come from dating apps, right? But I'm trash on the internet. It all came from me just being real and just finding the random chick on there that really just appreciated a real ass nigga. But a lot of them is boring. And they just want, they don't realize how uninteresting they are, or they are being in conversation. And they want you to lead almost too much. And it's like, if you need me to lead that much, you need to get in front of me about fast.
Let me say this. I'm not, most of these dating apps, like, women, they either trying to get paid or trying to get into a relationship. Yeah. I know for a fact I'm not trying to be in a relationship right now. So I don't think it serves my best interest to be in that app. That's what that mindset. But like, sites like FetLife, like Swappernet, things of that nature, like, BDSM sites where people like they have more of a mindset. It's not as vanilla, even though it still be a lot of vanilla people on those sites too. That's fucking infuriating. You know what I'm saying? More than you think. They still trying to find a husband on a and that's corny as shit. But at least it's more implied that that we all on the same page. This is what we're trying to do. When you go on a regular dating app, you don't know if she's trying to get married. You know if she's trying to be, she's poly. Like, she could be a million things. Whereas on a swingers site, it's like the possibilities or the variables aren't as much, or the intention is less clear than on the swinger site. Swinger site, dudes trying to smash. Now we got different levels: dom, sub, brat, whatever, blah 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 blah, all that bullshit. But it still has like a carnal, not even it's a carnal overtone. Like, this is what
it's just understanding. It's an understanding.
This is what it is. But with dating apps,
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like people say they poly or whatever, that's cool, but I'm just done with it. And then I'll be saying the same chick on dating apps 15 years later. Bad chicks. You mean to tell me you ain't find a man in 15 years and you still on POF? At this point, you ain't trying to get no man. You just selling buns, but you don't have the courage or the vagina to admit that you're trying to sell buns. That's why you always on here. You straight up updating constantly new pictures and shit. Bitch, you selling yourself. And I got no problem with that. That's cool. To me. Why not put yourself on a sugar baby site? Why not? Like, why not? Like, don't say that this is a barbecue and then I get there and then all y'all sell is vegan.
A lot of people. One big thing that I talk to people about is accountability and integrity, and I talk about those things a lot: accountability, integrity, and self-awareness. And I talk about those a lot because that's the three biggest things that I notice that the majority of people are lacking. No matter how responsible they is, no matter how potentially respectful they can be, or whatever it is, a lot of them are lacking self-awareness. And because you lack self-awareness, you don't know how to hold yourself accountable, or you don't want to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
You know, and then because you are lacking those things or not doing those things, that means you lack integrity. And it's like, if you find people that can have those three things, then you always go back to the simple cliche of real, recognize real.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. So you'll have fewer people, but you'll have a much better quality, period.
I just want to put myself in situations or web like apps that I use that just yield a higher output of what it is, what my needs are and my intentions. Yep. And just for now, the dating apps, that shit is done, man. And I feel like a weight is lifted. I'll be in the bed, wasting time swiping, my eyes all sore and shit, and playing casino games and shit. My eyes are sore. And then you meet the chick, and then the back and forth. They give you the run around over the river and through the woods. Like I like to keep the conversations to a minimum. Like, yo, why am I giving my whole life story online? Why am I give you my life story online where we could just go to Panero Bread during the day, so there's no pressure like I'm trying to smash. We can have a date during the day, you know what I'm saying, Saturday, 12 o'clock or some shit. You know what I mean? And then we can actually know and get to know each other, because me having a conversation or through text, you can't see my facial expressions, my body language. Is so much more that we can accomplish in person. But these chicks be so afraid, like, damn, like I'm gonna accost you. I'm gonna accost you in the Starbucks bathroom or something. Like, come on, man, get out of here, man. But yeah, yo, that's a whole nother topic. I want to we're gonna talk about dating apps, and we kind of touched on it, why I gave it up, and why you still use them, like the advantages of why you use it. Like I said, and yo, trust me, I bag chicks on Facebook too. Like, Facebook low key is a dating app, and I'm not talking about just
way better. In fact, right now I'm about
not
to have
just
Facebook
dating.
When we get off of this, because I waited for a moment. She asked me a question, and I knew that if I answered the question a certain way, there was no way for me to do it interesting. Yeah. But I was like, the way that you answered me this question, this could lead into something else, and you probably wouldn't be here on this, like, whatever, because after dealing with Christmas, I realized that some women really be having conversation with you on a status, expecting you to just hop in the DMs, and you like, but you ain't even say nothing worth me hopping in the DMs. So what made you think that I was gonna hop in the DMs? So now I've been trying to read those situations a lot better, and so I waited because I knew something was gonna happen. So the moment somebody else starts trying to jump in on that comment thread, that was clearly a one-to-one person interaction. Yeah, and it's always a dude or something like that. Now you just gave me the excuse to hop in the DMs, because I'm like, all right, since somebody else wanted to jump in there, I ain't really feel like another nigga need to be just up in there like that. So my answer to your question was yada yada yada, and now I could be more. I got an excuse, legitimate. I could be more interesting. We go from there. That's
something that's related to what you said. I hate, like, when I'm in like a swingers group or whatever, and they have this rule: don't inbox the woman unless you ask in public. I hate that shit. You know why I hate it? Because I'm just using this. Say we in a group, right? And we like a swingers group. We trying to highlight chicks, and like it's a public forum. Yeah. It's not your business who I'm attracted to or trying to holler at. Yeah. That's none of your fucking business. I hate when they make rules like that.
But that's the thing, though. If it's a swingers group and she's in a committed relationship, that's just respect. Because at the end of the
day, no. I get that, but they say all ladies, not just relation. They talk about all women. That's in the group. Unicorns. And I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you're in a relationship, yes, I understand. But even in that situation, I would rather hit up her daddy first and get permission from him and then hit up. behind the scenes. Nobody need to know my taste or who I'm trying to. It might be like a chick that's kind of like obese or whatever, but she got some good top. But people know if you're trying to smash her, like like if you smash ugly chicks, it turns other women off, even in the swingers world. But I still want to get it in. If I put it out on the front street, I probably like limited myself with other chicks that's looking on. That's why
you can't put that on front street. If they ugly, what you gotta do, and I be telling chicks like this all the time, they be thinking it's a joke, but I be telling them straight up, I be like, shoot, I was out going on the room. I was, I was out here effing them for the pheromones. You dig what I'm saying? Because
her face wasn't doing it. Her face wasn't doing it. But the
pheromones, and like, but you still get the pheromones. So then other chicks, just like they say, other chicks can detect when you're not getting it. Them pheromones gonna tell you I'm getting it. It don't tell you what it looked like from where I got it. That's all I'm saying.
That's some funny, bro. That's some. Yo, you got the comedic mind. You got that shit, man. I look forward to your progress and your journey in this comedy shit because you got something in you. You got. I
appreciate you, bro.
You really do. Like me, like I think I'm a good comic, but I'm a decent comic just because I've been doing it for a long time. I think I'm naturally funny, but some people it just comes to them. I still got to work hard at it. Whereas you only been doing it a couple years, if that, and it's like you already got the natural mindset and the confidence, like a la Patrice O'Neal. I see a lot of Patrice in you too. You know what I'm saying? You got that shit,
man. Yeah, no, I mean,
you got that shit, man. It's the confidence. It's the confidence.
I did it my 4th time on Monday. Well, technically my 4th, maybe 6th time. Depends on when I want to actually consider when I started. My 4th or 6th time on Monday, and my first show was like October 30th, October 31st of last year. And then I met you probably about the second time I was about to, and then I did it the next week.
In Bristol.
I met you the second time I did it.
Yeah, in Bristol at the Polish Club. Yeah.
And then after that, I did it maybe like one more time, and then I did it last week. And I mean, I just been stepping into it just because I was doing music for a long time.
Yeah.
And
that has I got a music foundation too, so that and performing and stuff like that does help if you're going into stand-up comedy. If you have different artistic endeavors that you did before that involved the stage, it's just like a person that used to play rugby has a better chance of transitioning to football than a person that never did any type of athletics at all. You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept.
Honest, most people thought I should have did comedy before I did music, but it's just like, what it takes for somebody to hear music versus somebody hear, comedy is two different things. Because I can meet you in the grocery store and talk to you for 15 minutes. You'd be like, this dude is crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm not meeting you in the grocery store randomly busting off one of my top hits that ain't a hit yet because you ain't heard
listen to this MP3 real quick. Like, nah.
Yeah, like that's not the same thing. So it's like, but I always had a manner of talking just from, even in high school, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle and stuff. But like people just was like, just the way you talk is like just naturally talking to you is like you doing stand up.
Yeah, now you got it in you, bro. Like I wouldn't have thought that you only did it a few times. Like you got it in you. My only advice, as the comedian OG, I said, even if you can't go all the time, if you hit a mic a minimum of 1 time a week, that's still 52 times a year.
Yep, that's what
every week.
Told me that before, and that's what I've been trying to do.
That's 52 times a year, and then every week always record it. So when you're driving home, you got something to listen to. If you riff some shit, you can. If you don't write with a pencil and paper, and you freestyle and riff, you can still record and write down the shit that you have, like based off your audios. You know what I'm saying? And you'll still be building material. Yes, I would like you to do it more than once a week, but if you can do it a minimum once a week, that's still better than nothing. And
I've been trying to work it out. I'm trying to work it out, do it a couple more times. Absolutely.
You're a fast study, so you may not even need as much stage time as like a person that doesn't have the mindset and the talent that you have. You understand what I'm saying? So I would say do that. But like, listen, man, we are at shit. My YouTube say 2 hours and 26 minutes, man. We can do this like this, but this is good. This is great content. It's great material. Talk about dating woes, my dating woes, but my experience is the experience that a lot of people have. Like you even said, like the way I was describing this chick is some shit that your homeboy was going.
Oh yeah, verbatim, man. It happens all the time, dude.
I ain't just speaking for me. I'm speaking for me and everybody that represents me.
Last week about his baby mama. Yeah. And his baby mama know my baby mama only a little bit, nothing crazy. They not friends and none. Our kids just in the same daycare. And the same stuff he was talking about with his baby mama. I'm like, bro, you ain't talking about nothing that didn't just happen to me a year ago. Like that's just what it is. And they two different people, one white, one black. The only difference is how they handle themselves with their baby daddy in particular. But other than that, how they handle themselves as women, how they treat their vagina, how they value it or undervalue it, this and that, all that shit the same. All you looking for is a trail to lead to exactly what that characteristic is. And I mean,
yo, you can see my screen, right? You can see my screen moving.
Yeah,
I want to show you some shit. It aligns with what you're saying. Like I made this status literally last week on this podcast, right? As my boy Anton had a dope ass response. I didn't even think about this shit, but it's put me in a different mindset. Hold up, actually, let me. I gotta refresh. So I get the top stat, my latest status or whatever. Because you know, I always be posting some shit.
Yep.
I said, like, check what it says right there. It is impossible to please women. You could give her the universe. She gonna ask, what about the other dimensions? And then, now he says,
I like that because that could be very typical of a thing to say, but because it's so wide scope, it's like wow. Like,
because I was trying to make it. Because before I said you can give her the world, you can. I used to say it like this: you can give her a pebble, she's gonna be like, what about the world? And I said that's not big enough. Then I was like, you can give her the world, she's gonna be like, what about the galaxy? I said that's not big enough.
It only gets funny when you go as big as you went.
I said, you can give her the galaxy. She's gonna like, what about the universe? I said, that's not big enough. So I was like, fuck it. You can give her the universe. She's like, what about the other dimensions? I'm like, God damn.
When you that big, it's almost absurd. It's like, it's absurd regardless. But it's absurd that she's that she's so entitled that she's almost nerdy entitled. Like, bitch, really?
But check what he said. Look what Comic Anton said. He said, the problem isn't that they are impossible to please. It's that they know you will try to please them.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. That was so that right there.
Yo, when I saw that shit,
go up on that so much, I almost shit myself right now just listening to it. I said, God damn.
Like, yo, I didn't even think about that. But you gotta, it's like you gotta play the game. You gotta pretend like you don't want it and get it by accident. Like it's weird, man. You gotta play this goofy ass game, man. I don't know.
How you know? Because you told me. How you know my favorite flower? You told me that 6 months ago. I just listened. Oh my God, I'm so in love. But if you tell me yesterday and I bring you your favorite flower, it's like, what the fuck?
I wanted to leave you with that. Yo, we definitely going, you know what I'm saying? When I do these relationship pods on the moment, it's not commentary, it's momentary. You know what I'm saying? Wordplay, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I have my moments, you know what I'm saying? But
I do love the name of your.
You like that momentary? You like that?
I do. I love a good pun. And I love a good pun that can be used in multiple different ways. Yeah. And I love something that you can basically use almost like it's a bar at any time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they got sub variation. Like I'm in the moment. You know what I'm saying? So much I could do with that shit. But I'm definitely gonna bring you on. This is something I'm gonna be doing regularly more often. I got all this equipment and shit in my house. This motherfucker.
How many episodes you did so far?
Huh? For this podcast, this is like my 7th or 8th. But I used to do another podcast with my homeboy Keenan Floyd. Comedian Keenan Floyd, and it's called the light skin perspective because we both bald headed and we both light skin and we both got a perspective. And light skin is a word that triggers black people, so that's why that's why you know what I'm saying. With that one, we did 27 episodes, but he's actually writing a podcast. He wrote not a podcast. He wrote a sitcom for Godfrey, comedian Godfrey, and he's about to get signed by like Disney or fucking HBO or some shit like that. And I used to say so much controversial shit on the podcast that he didn't want his brand to get spoiled by the crazy things that I was saying. So we kind of fell back on that particular podcast. So between both podcasts, I did about 35 of them. But I should have a lot more though. Like if you go on my YouTube, I like all my light skin perspective, like, and we got different panelists and guests all the time. But I'm gonna keep that shit going. Like with the momentary, like I do it here and there, but there's a guy named Star, Star Troy Terrain. From Star and Buck Wild.
I'm still meeting a couple people, but like I was saying, with Real Recognize Real, like there's only so many people that I genuinely are like. Yeah. I know I can connect.
I'm talking about YouTubers now. I'm talking about like one of the.
I never heard of that person.
Star is he's like a black Wendy. He's like a male Wendy Williams. He's like the biggest. Like all these black YouTubers that you see, they all take their page from Star. They all take it from home. And what Star was saying was, if we really trying to like blow up on this YouTube shit and make money off of it, you have to produce a video every day, even if you don't feel like doing it. Do it anyway.
I mean, that's like anything else.
Because you got your audience. If you have your audience, and then what I'm saying, you go hard for a week and you stop going hard, or if you're not consistent, you start to lose your audience. You know what I'm saying? I got about 400 followers, right? And it's like I produce so sporadically that, you know what I mean? I lose a lot of that audience. But if I'm always producing and my videos is dope, that those 400 people could share it to 400 people, could share it to 400 people, and pretty soon I got 2,000. But I'm not going to get to that point if I don't constantly produce. So I say all that to say this, brother, you're going to be getting calls on a regular basis. But I will always let you know, like, yo, Teddy, tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, Wednesday, 4 p.m. You free?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you're not free, I'm gonna do it myself. Or if you only got 10 minutes where you could pop in and just do like a quick little correspondence. But yo, I'm gonna utilize you. I'm gonna let you know this right now. You're gonna be utilized. You're gonna be utilized. I'm letting you know right now because you have some great insight that needs to be put out there. Yo. You got great insight, and I think we got good chemistry too. You know?
No, oh, absolutely, bro. And I mean that's why there's only certain people. I mean, there's a lot of people on my page that like. I'm like, they all right, but like, I'm not going to link with them in a certain type of way. But like, not only have I heard great things about you, but I've also I heard those things about you after I met you, and I had already assessed them for myself, and they only reaffirmed in better ways for myself. So absolutely, dog, I'm here to be utilized. I mean, that is who I am. That's what I always been about.
That's dope. And with as much knowledge as you have, you're going to do a pod. You're going to do your own podcast eventually. You got too much shit in here.
I had my own for a while. The only thing that messed it up was COVID. We was doing it out of a library. Yeah. And then when the library shut down, we ain't had nowhere to do it. So we was doing it in my baby mama basement. But that BMS is a motherfucker, man. Like I told you, man, that BMS.
But that's why we do it like this with the Zoom. That's why I prefer to do it like this. You don't gotta be in person. And there's so much editing and so much shit I could do. I'm sharing my screen. Like I'm gonna stop the share now because we're pretty much done. But it's just so much shit. It's so much shit that we could do with this. You know what I mean? I'm with it, man. But you about to get listen. This is something that I'll be sitting on this too long. I wouldn't say I waste too many statuses, but I put so much statuses and information on the book.
There you go.
I need to start converting it into this on a digital form, which is what I did with that particular status, and keep it moving. And matter of fact, when I'm done with you, I'm about to do another one. I'm about to do another one about the chick that I made a date with her, and then on some last second shit, she's like, I can only hang out until 10. You know what I mean? So, like we already talked on this one, but I kind of want to go in myself.
When it comes to relationships, I mean, I got a lot of insight on a lot of different things anyway, but specifically relationships, oh, bro, I mean, that's my wheelhouse, man. Like when I say I was 10 times love, when I say I was doing life, love, relationship advice, like that's not a joke. You go on YouTube right now, see them things from 8, 7, 9 years ago, all this other stuff like that.
But I can hear it. You don't even got to sell it because like I can hear it in you. Yeah. What you're saying, it makes perfect sense. Your confidence, like you don't seem anxious, you seem calm. With like, yo, I'm 42. You know what I mean? I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the world, but I know how to read people to an extent. You've always had a good vibe, even when we were out and about. Like I've seen you plenty of times, but you didn't run up to me immediately. Whatever. It took a while for us to even get to this point of even talking. There's times I saw you, I'm like, yo, then I saw you last week, and we didn't even talk. We didn't even say shit to each other. So this ain't like, some people like they're ready to have best friends and immediately, and that's cool. That's how but you don't move like that. Like this is some organic shit that it took time to get to this point. You know what I'm saying?
There's only one time in my life that I ever didn't force something and I regret it. Every other time I'm pretty much chill. That was when I used to be a bank teller. And Michael Bivens used to come specifically to that bank. Nice. And so I got to meet him twice.
He used to live in Middletown, from what I heard. Michael Bivens used to live
I was in the Bank of America, Middletown.
Yeah.
And so he recognized me just from meeting me, and they was like, "Yeah, give him to Johnny. He want to be an R&B singer, this and that." But like, I never did the whole I never believed in doing the whole hey, I do this, I do that. And I didn't really know at the time, I was only like 18. So I didn't really know at the time what he might have been doing. Cause New Edition, Bell Biv DeVoe, all that stuff. It was, it was whatever they was doing. And then come to find out, a couple months passed and he was on Making a Band. And under his name, they put like artist development. So apparently he had an artist development company. And I'm like, damn, like even if he would have heard me and be like, man, you ain't that great, he might have seen like the potential and the fact that like, yo, he can't sing that great, but he got good confidence or he got good spirit. Or
let's could have gave you some pointers.
And something could have happened from it because you specifically could have been like, nah, I can work with you because like that's what I do every day.
Right.
And that's the only time that I was like, God damn, that should have been out here like, baby.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna utilize you, man. You know what I'm saying? Much blessings. Do what you gotta do. I'm about to
Yeah,
start
I
up
gotta
another
pay
one,
you
but I
back.
just want to have a different topic and talk about another one. You know what I'm saying? Like talk about
Go
this
for it.
other topic. Well,
Yeah.
so I holla at you, man. Yo, you be safe, Mr. Teddy, man. It was a pleasure,
Hey.
man.
You as well, Mo. I will see you soon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Here we go. I don't report. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I almost reported him by accident. But yeah, that was it. The Momentary Podcast. Why Chicks Say I Don't Know. We covered so much information, man. I'm about to shut this down. I'm gonna take a little break, but I wanna read out all the comments of this other situation. I had a date with somebody, right? For a Friday night. And then once I almost came to the date, the person was like, oh, I gotta be home by like 10 or whatever. So I want to build on that. Like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? When they give you different rules on some last second shit like that. What do they mean by that? So if anything, yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all and I'm gonna fire this bad boy right back up. Peace.